Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first night of this very special Celebrity Cash Kings. All the players tonight are sat down with €10,000, and the stakes are it's no limit hold'em, 50, 100, and we're due to run for 5 hours. You can catch all the action live on the live stream. So introducing the players, ladies and gentlemen. In seat number 1, he's coming all the way from Belgrade, it's Alexander Tomovic. Seat 2, Jonas Kronwitter. Seat 3, he's too hotty, it's Scott Hanna. Seat 4, Besim hot. Seat 5, who maybe he's at the bank or something, it's Tobias Reinkermeier. Seat 6, Daniel Pidun from Germany. 7, it's Tricky Scarfy himself, George Danzer. And 8, he's got the lot, it's Max Altergott. So, passing you over to Tarkan. Good luck.
Thank you, Warren.
There you have it. Warren Lush given the introduction of the players. Everybody sat with 10,000. Tarkan, the floor man for the cash game, as always. Tony G. There's talks about Tony G coming up, but whether he makes it or not, we're not too sure. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Tony G style. So welcome if you just joined us. We are set to stream for 5 hours this evening. So, quick competition to get this started. Who's going to be the first player to be felted? And how long will it take? Not a bad lineup at all. George has got a good seat, as does Max. I was just talking to Max earlier, and he had a baby about 10 weeks ago too. Strangely enough, we've got the same name for our child. It's a fairly unique name, so it's quite bizarre. So they've got a couple of events running while the Celebrity Cash Kings is going on. So if you're in the area and fancy popping down, plenty of high-stakes cash, and the Czech Open final table is being streamed as well as we speak. That's been running over the weekend. So we're off. Hand number 1. Action on George. It's I can see plenty of action happening today. Besim should be putting a little raise in here on the button. He's going to love having Scotty on the right. As always, the yellow chips are 1,000, the purples 500. The whites are 100, and the blues 50, I believe. So it's raised up and takes it down. I think Besim and Scotty are going to be the first 2 guys to get the chips in. As always, send a tweet at Paul Zimbler and use the hashtag PokerRoomKings. Not a bad hand. Jack 10 suited. And of course, the button calling with the King, Queen of Hearts. Big blind priced in. 3 ways to the flop. Well, a gut shot for the initial raiser. Aleks, top pair for Dan. And not much for Max. Standard C-bet. Looks like about 800. 3/4 pot. Probably assumed his opponent should miss this board more often than they'll hit. On a board like Queen 8-4 Rainbow, once he gets called, unless he hits a Jack 10 or 9, he'll slow down. Of course, Aleks Tomovic, we've seen him on the feature table. He has a very solid image. haven't seen Dan play myself. Dan Pidun. Well, he's selling the story good. Kind of a bit of a tough spot for Dan. He's got top pair. The initial raiser under the gun led out 3/4 pot. He's now led out for 2,200. If he calls this, he'll probably face a river bet that he'll probably have to call if he's calling the turn. Always difficult early on when a game's being streamed. Now we can see he's got king-queen in his flop-top pair. But he's pretty aware of how Aleks Tomovic plays. And he's more than likely going to face a 5k plus bet on the river and decided he'll find a better spot. So there's George Danzer. Won a few bracelets at the World Series of Poker. We've seen him play before. Trap 2, Jonas. I don't think I've seen him on the feature table myself. Scotty, Hanna with the little ducks. Well, Dan Pidun. He's calling with a pair of fives. And Max knows that Scotty can have any two there. And if Dan's just flatted behind, he wants to go heads up against Scotty. But Scotty isn't one for folding. And Pidun's come along for the ride. Looks like a little duck there. First card out in the window. Max making a 3-bet from the small blind. He's got a very solid image too. Like to see a flat call here from Scotty. Jack, deuce, 4 rainbow. If you raise here, you're not really going to get too much action. And it could be disastrous if Max catches a king or a queen. His best card's a 10. 7 of hearts, no joy. Should check this now. He knows Scott is not one to fold. You've got to pick your opponents in a cash game. And Max is no fool. Pot now, 4,500. Well, I'm pretty sure Scotty will put him on a big pair and now put the rest of the chips in. But if he thinks about it, if Max does have a big pair, by raising here, I think his hand is pretty... I mean, only ace-jack that Max can beat. So Max wouldn't really call the rest off. We can see he doesn't have anything. But if he just calls here, he can allow Max to 3-barrel.
I'm all in.
But he hasn't. He's gone for the move. And a snap fold. No messing around. No tank folding as if he had a hand. Nothing wrong with trying to take a pot. When am I going to play? When this is all over, I'll be on the Omaha. I'll have to check my lottery numbers. If they've come in, I promise you I'll jump in the game tomorrow.
Probably. Maybe even I overplayed.
So we had a working in London last night, straight on the plane, 6 o'clock in the morning. We arrived today, the sun was shining, and then it started to snow.
I think the last euro that he was sending over the line had already gone over the line. What? I think the last euro that you were going to put over the line had already gone over the line, so I thought I'd be a smart ass. Just go all in right now. Go all in. I'm with the nuts, by the way.
So Scotty was the first player to go all in.
To make a bad call with a very small pair.
Had a feeling that was going to be the situation. He's not one to mess around.
Match my pair on the flop.
He can either do chunks or win chunks. Players like to have him at the table. We saw a lot of Scotty in the high roller in the cash games when we were at the Prague Festival
Maybe I made a bet.
towards the end of last year.
Bet? I mean, you had a set. I'd set deuces. I mean, set is good, but all in is maybe a little bit.
Oh, they're just talking about the hand when they had when he flopped the set. And he's a good guy, Scotty. He doesn't tell lies, and the players know that. They know he's telling the truth. Even if he just calls there, Max is never going to barrel the river. So, and if he checked and he had a pair, he's probably not going to call the all-in. But you've got to give a man a chance. It's going to be a call for sure. Yeah, suited connectors. Trap 2. And Scotty coming along with a 10 deuce. Look at that. He's only gone and flopped the world. 8, 9, 10. He's got Jack Queen. We got middle pair with the up and down for Tomovic. Gut shot for George. And top pair for Scotty. It is a very dangerous board for top pair. And I like the little lead here. Just lead out small. Check raising. Gets the whole stack in. You can lead out here. If players have got a big draw, they're more than likely to get the lot in. Tomovic now, second pair. And the up and down, but the bottom end. There's reasons for calling, reasons for folding. He's got out the way. Scotty in a world of pain. There it is. We've got it out quick. I'd like to see Jonas bet here. About 1400 half pot. If Scotty calls the flop, he's calling the turn. Any draws, if he has top pair, he'll give him another street. It's 5,000. I thought she said 5, but it's 5. So 2,000. Nice bet. Getting max value from Scotty. Now he could check the river and hope that his opponent has to bluff to win. Or if he puts his opponent on top pair, he can go for a value bet. He'll probably go for probably about 4K. I like leading out with made hands. Players never believe you. It's all part of the psychology. That's a nice big bet, and it's a snap call. Didn't even think about it. Snap call. Scotty, Hanna. Shows the 10. Great bet there. 4,400. I love it there by Jonas. He's played that very well. He's put his opponent on a hand like probably 10 queen, 10 7. He's called the flop, he's called the turn, he's calling the river. Unless he missed everything. And he didn't want to take a chance and check and have it checked back to him.
I like the turn blank. Either right on the flop or wrong on the flop. Blank to a 6, 7. That doesn't help a longer straight.
So there's a couple of guys that have won some prizes over the last 6 months that have messaged me. 2 of them, I think, haven't received their prizes. So I did resend one out.
I was almost hoping for a reason to fold.
So D Trox, if you're back on, while I'm here, I'll get something sorted out for you.
I showed the 10, didn't show the kicker. But top pair, and then it comes blank, blank.
This was a free bet from Besim. I think there could have been a straddle. Well, Scotty is not folding. I promise you. Any two. These two guys are going to go to war regularly. And George and Max are going to try and isolate as often as possible behind. Not a bad flop for Scotty. If he thinks his two cards alive plus his gut shot. A heart on the turn. Look at that instant service. And it brings a spade to get Besim involved. Just needs to call, yeah. Don't need to get too busy. Well. I don't think he's going to hero call this. It's not a situation you can make a hero call with ace high. He knows Scotty plays any two, so this board can hit him, and hit him hard. But we've seen Besim do strange things before. I think it's a bit early in the day for a hero.
Kick of 4.
I love Scotty. He loves to show his cards. He's here for a good time.
Figure out it was worth 1,600 pre-flop.
1,600 euros pre-flop with a 9-4.
Apparently it was.
Sammy NE2 is now Scotty NE2. So we're here in Rotterdam. The snow is falling and the action is heating up. And my mum, as always, listening in. Good evening. Raise it up, Tomovic in the hijack. Now Scotty, when there's a caller behind with a hand like ace-4, I guess if you're playing 9-4, he's playing ace-4. And look at this, you raise it up with ace-7, it comes 7-7-3. There's a couple of hearts there, but otherwise there's not really too much else for other players to have. Maybe pocket pairs are going to call you. Looks like a half pot bet. Excuse me. Takes it down. No snow in Spain, that's for sure. I guess if you go up to Sierra Nevada, there might still be a bit.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to get. Let's give him a hand.
So you'll see at King's Casino, they deal you in. If you leave the table, you'll actually you get dealt in until the blinds get to you, and then you'll have a miss blind button. They do it in all their cash games. Scotty 3-betting Jonas here.
A very famous hand, sir.
Oh, he loves a hand with a king in. I've just remembered. Any hand with a king in, Scotty is involved. He's got a story for each king hand.
How popular is it? How famous?
How famous? Like, you're from Bavaria? Yes. You know it for sure.
He's got him crushed. But Scotty's taken the lead in the hand. And if he can just find the trigger, he's going to get called on one streak because Jonas has got a gut shot.
That's not a Bavarian hand. Are you from Bavaria? So you know it for sure.
It's a tough spot for him. He's out of position.
Bavaria is close to Kings. Kings means you play a lot of poker with me. I have a few famous hands that I play.
Yeah, he's going to float one streak.
Still don't know.
He may get a check on the turn. That's what he's thinking. 10 of hearts. Doesn't really affect too much.
2-5.
And that's going to be the end of the hand.
Okay,
And he'll proudly turn it over just to tell him what the famous hand is.
In Germany, what do they write? And what does that mean? And Kaspar.
Yeah.
3 kings. You're Bavarian, you see that in every
There it is.
fucking house.
3 kings.
How did you come up with that fucking shit?
I wouldn't know, I guess. Yeah.
You must have for sure like
I
came up with that
wouldn't-
before.
I wouldn't
You
know,
could have
yeah.
just looked at your hand and then like make that up. You know?
Reinkermeier, was soll ich machen, Georgie?
Ah.
Kommst du aus Bayern, dann kennt jeder das.
I wouldn't know, I guess, King 3.
Yeah. The very famous Bavarian hand.
No, I said it's a
Scott is going to
famous
run
hand.
through the king hands now.
You probably know it. If you come from Rheinland-Pfalz, you might not know it.
Welcome, if you've just joined us. Celebrity
I know the name of the third
Cash Kings here in Rotterdam at King's Casino.
Every kid who plays 1-3 with me here knows that. I try to teach them history when I'm playing. I said yesterday, hemlock. Does anybody know hemlock? Hemlock in Germany is the same as hemlock in English. I couldn't for a half hour explain to these guys what hemlock was. I said Socrates.
So,
was found
no one's
guilty
gone broke yet.
not believing
Still
in the
time
gods, and
to
he
enter.
drank hemlock
Tell us who you
and
think is going to be the first player to reload or to be felted.
So I was 3
Because they
kings.
could reload before they get felted. If they run low on chips, they're likely to top up.
You make from a hemlock
straight
which
poison.
is poisonous.
How quickly do you die from that?
Sometimes it's best not to get too much involved in the chat with Scotty because he might fold.
It was Greek death penalty. You have to make tea in front of everybody.
Oh, the heads up.
You have to make it yourself too?
It's not a bad flop for ace king.
Kind of like respectful if you had like something to make
Find a C bet here.
better than being Tobias.
4-500. Yeah.
You guys having some fun already?
Well, we were, but now he just bet me out of the hand. I have another famous hand.
Yeah, he is betting you out of hands. That's the
Second
problem.
with the queen.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's the life holder.
Okay, finish.
Sex with the queen. Every little boy's dream.
So we can see the King of Hearts on the board there in the graphics. That's actually because it was the first burn card. If it goes too near to the
And I had live cards. I shouldn't have folded.
the antenna on the table where the
Look at you. Where'd you find yourself?
rectangle is,
Trapped in a gym
it
and
will
have
pick
nothing
it
to
up
do?
as a card.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Oh, see, you never know what life. Well, yeah, right? Sometimes you live in a different country.
Nothing
sometimes
else
you
to
live
do,
in
you
a
know?
gym. Yeah, you do look like you've gained a little bit of.
A little bit. Since last time I've seen you, you're around like twice.
Well, it's been a while though, right?
Now this is Sex with a King. It's what I'm going to tell you at the end of the hand. It's another famous hand for Scotty.
Yeah, exactly. I cut myself.
I think there's more famous hands than unfamous hands.
Last 1-2 years, yeah.
But he's great for the game.
Oh yeah,
Aleks Tomovic has him absolutely dominated.
Maybe you didn't pay
Defend big
attention.
blind. Defending
I
big
would
blind.
have recognized it.
Scotty is going to fire. Pretty sure Tomovic is going to call one street here. He's just seen him barrel with King 3.
Man, scheiß Kommentare. It's always like so silly.
He said he's got a famous hand again.
Oh, it gets away.
He knows Scotty's famous hands all contain a king.
No, I mean, like, gaining
Well, he should
weight
know.
is, like, different ways, right?
Maybe not.
Good fault. Da, da, da,
It'd be a
da.
good thing if
I have a king.
hand it to. It's like it could be a good thing if you're working on it, right? Someone says like you gain
That
weight.
took a lot of discipline for Scotty not to turn the 6 over.
They used to call me Big Scotty. Now I'm Mittelgroße Scotty.
Mittelgroß. Yeah, in your measurements.
He's here all week.
I
It's
lost.
American measures.
Scotty Hanna.
Can I straddle?
They call him Big Scotty.
Just because Tobias is here.
Their straddles are on. So now we're playing 50, 100, 200.
No. This is the first. Well, this is the first time I had the opportunity, but we've only played like 5 hands.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just basically got straight out of the car here playing.
No, we were stalling until you arrived.
Oh, that's very nice. Thanks.
He's not got a bad hand.
Bluffed
Suited
all
one
in because
gappers.
it's set against Max, so that he could fold as quick as possible, and we could play as many hands before you got here.
I appreciate it.
But
We
it's great
heard
to
some
play with
new
you.
stories about... all
Raised
the
up by
fans.
Dan in the hijack.
Oh, no, I didn't say it's
For
fair. I
three
just said it's
barrel.
famous.
Famous.
C-bet should
Which
get
hand
through.
is the Bavaria in your book?
Exactly. It's not easy to get a read on you when you say you have a famous hand. I mean,
Tobias just joining the table. Looks like about 900. Gets the job done.
It's a really good hand. It's unfoldable, it's called. It's called unfoldable pre-flop.
that I know too.
So unfortunately, the Wi-Fi is down at the moment. It'll be back up shortly, so I can give you a rundown of everything that's going to happen over the next couple of days. There's side events from 100 euros to 200 euros. All the high stakes players are going to jump in some of the side events, so they get to play with the recreational players here. And that's a nice thing to do.
Arrived and we made a limping game.
Guys come and they can play and get to go home with some stories. Maybe knock a few of these guys out.
Getting friendly, you know?
Now I got, what does my cards have to be to squeeze?
Oh
this?
wow, look at this. George has limped with the 9s. Scotty is definitely going to raise this up with pocket 8s.
I have any two. I'm checking.
Wow.
Check folding against this.
I think I've never seen anyone limp raising out of the gun like anything else in aces or kings or something. People still call.
3 kings.
Now, George can get away from this for absolutely the minimum.
I wish I would see anything
Maybe
else.
Scotty thinks they're all trapping him. He started to play a bit loosey-goosey.
How much do you guess I would have had to squeeze there to get all of these nits to fit.
Well,
2 grand?
if you do 2,000, then you have like a good likelihood of getting everyone out.
Yeah. 1,950, I get 4 callers.
Even for, I would say the minimum that you have to raise or to get everyone out quite often is 600. Maybe 7 because
For
basically
for 600 you would
And
have
once
got
he calls,
at
he
least
calls.
3 callers. No,
Yeah,
you have to
600
go
I get 3
1,500.
Bessim's cool with the up and down,
750 would have done.
fairly standard.
No.
No,
I need
no.
1,500 minimum to get rid of people. 1,900 I get if the first guy calls.
Now Besim could lead here
Take that into
and basically name his price for the turn. By checking, he's going to allow Tobias to make a big bet, bigger than the size that he may have let out for. I think Tobias is going to probably go for like 1,000, 1,100.
I showed my hand, so after this I'll
He won't be in love with his hand. Pidun is ahead of Besim, and that Besim has either got a 10 or he's on a draw.
Calculation. The first guy to my left was Besko. If he calls, everybody's going to call. What kind of bet to make Besko?
He wants to
call?
keep him in. He's priced him in.
Yeah, 2 grand.
Better lose 100.
Then win.
I'd about to say a jack would get Besim to pay him off, but it's a spade. Could slow the action down.
Scheiß Hamburg.
I mean,
Gotta make money back.
Tobias will think Jack 9, King Jack he can beat. Spades he loses to. So if he weighs it up and makes a decision based on the players against,
Stage, by the way, just calling
only he can make that decision.
everywhere.
Would Besim play a flush draw like this?
You probably have been to San Diego too, right? Somewhere.
A little bit in Texas.
I think he's going to call,
In Washington State, California.
because I think there's a lot of King Jacks, Jack 9s. He could be afraid of Jack 10 maybe.
On the Air Force Base.
My father was a B-52 pilot. You know the big one.
I like the fact that he's talking to him. A lot of players don't do that in live games.
Yeah, well, I know the drink.
There's a lot of information out there to get.
Take him out everywhere.
33 years he flew B-52s. But the family's always living in the States and they're
Just going through the hand in his head. Man's giving it up.
Crazy light, right?
So, Georgie, in this position, big blind, pocket 8s, both red.
He's now telling George he had pocket 8s. And George is really upset.
Either bet 2,000 and I can take 400.
We have another high stakes player. They're playing in the big Omaha game at the moment. I think they're playing 200, 400 PLO on the table.
In this hand. If Vesco calls, he beats me right there.
We've got a lot of Omaha going to come tomorrow and Tuesday.
Look at that. There was 4 overcards to my pocket 8s on that.
Straight in the flush as well, so I don't like your chances.
No, I mean, mine.
Not much out there.
I just surrendered
Tomovic.
pocket 8s and I just squeezed.
In position. Could be a 3-bet here from Jonas.
I believe myself I didn't squeeze.
Yep. And he's made it 12.
Because I thought with you and
Scotty. See, if you start talking, starts folding.
I know.
Solid fold from Besim. He knows Tomovic is a solid player. And if he calls and Tomovic calls, he's never going to know where he is. It's too early for Besim to get involved. It's Tomovic going to make the 4-bet. Commit himself to the pot. If his opponent's got a big hand, let's get it in now. Let's flip.
I have to bet 2 grand. Because I think if I bet 1,000, you call. You call, then call.
Pretty standard hand.
And then whether it came queen.
A lot of players flat there with the ace-king. Problem is, you could be winning. You're going to miss the flop more often than you're not. You're out of position.
With 6 guys in the hand, my
You've lost control of the hand.
in the garbage.
Good power poker.
Terrible play, but I made a bad play against you.
14 hands, nobody's gone broke.
At least my terrible play has come.
Well, you had the maximum anyways. I mean,
We were never going to bet another penny.
Guessing the 7-deuce game is not in play today.
and you lose.
Kind of what I figured.
Oh, it's a straddle.
I've never folded a blind. I haven't folded a dealer button in 2016 yet.
Besim, hot.
There you go.
Just picks up a load of chips and throws them in. How do you like them apples?
Can't play with the nuts. This is a new.
I mean, that looks like a big hand. Tough spot for Jonas. He's looking how much he's got back. Is it worth it? He's got to call 2,000. He's getting 2 to 1 to call. He's only got about 6k left, Besim, so it's not great. I imagine he's going to fold this. It's very unlikely Besim has 4s, 3s or 2s, so at best is in a flip.
Like most impressive nature I've ever seen.
One of the best places in Europe.
Really? And it must be quite cheap, right? This is Croatia.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
the place is just
Solid
great.
fold.
It's like a national park, UNESCO World Heritage.
Easy game, really. So 5 hours we're streaming tonight. It's all no limit hold'em. 50, 100. Pretty sure after the break there'll be several straddles. They may even become compulsory. It's usually the situation when we're here. Players get involved, get deeper and deeper. Double straddles, triple straddles. I think the highest straddle we've had at this table while I've been commentating was 32,000 when they were playing 1,000, 2,000. And of course, that was Leon on the straddle. Giving the boys a spin. I think we've got Livbury turning up. Igor. A few more Germans. We need to get some English pros down. I think we need Luke Schwartz at the table. That would be fun. Tony G, Luke Schwartz. Well, this is a monster for Scotty. But George can't fold any 2 here. And I don't mind these two. 8, 6 of clubs. I like these kind of hands myself. What's your favourite hand? Let us know. Well, he's a favourite in the 4-way coup. Off-suit queen. Scotty will like that. Scott is going to bet this now. Oh, George. We were talking about this earlier where you want to name your own price. George wants to only pay 700, and if he checks, he's afraid that Scotty could bet more. He's also got the chance to take it down since everybody checked the flop. Not a great card to really barrel, and King Jack would have got there. You can see that look on his face.
It's good this. I made a value check on the flop.
Yeah, George isn't going to give any chips away.
Pretty good.
Deuce 3 of hearts. That's my favourite hand. In a cash game. In a tournament, they go in the bin. Well, depending on the situation. Every time we see George, he's got a different hairstyle. And Max always in his shorts. Always got the hoodie on. These boys, they're off to Monte Carlo on Wednesday. The Jet. We'll talk about the 3 deuce. Tomovic doesn't like it. Leon's getting the Jet. He's taking these guys to Monte Carlo for the super high roller. Tobias against Roland. I'm not sure. Must have been a long time ago for Roland to have been playing. He stopped playing years ago. Well, 2 players with the same hand. And Scotty will not be folding top pair in the gut shot. Max should probably have a little raise here. Just in case Jonas wanted to come in behind with something. Well, the money's going in. Max should check here. The only reason he wouldn't check is if he thinks Scotty had a flush draw and he's going to give him a free card. Looks like a stopper bet. Now let's pick up the body language of Scotty.
Trying to buy a card. 2,600.
There you go. The chit chat, the raise, an all in, and a call.
Card, sir.
We started about 8 o'clock. We're on a half an hour delay, so about 8:30. Be finishing at about 1:30 in the morning. Well, Max knows that Scott is not folding. The only thing he might be thinking about is just calling and then being able to bet a scare card on the river, such as a diamond. But Scotty wouldn't fold, I don't think, even if a diamond comes. Well, it's paired the board with a diamond. Would have loved to have seen it have been like the deuce of diamonds. Just move all in, make it look like you got a flush draw, but it's irrelevant anyway. Yep, we're live here at the King's Casino Rozadov. Well, Max knows what he's doing. I'm not going to tell him how to play. Maybe he's done like a 1100 into 7k to induce the raise. There it is, snap call. But Scott is not going to move in with a flush. All that drama. Everybody loves a split pot, except the dealer.
Nice hand, sir.
Surprised Max didn't just move in.
One time, kissing this girl likes, come on, it's your cousin. It's very unsatisfying.
Tejav, yes, we're live in Rozadov.
It's more than me.
It's a slight delay, obviously, for the security of the players, as we have the whole cards. There is the profit and loss chart.
No, I've seen it. Second nuts, only second nuts. Against you, I almost folded to your riverbed.
It's a very good question. I don't know why you didn't know.
Yeah, I should have. How did you call my big raise there? That's what I don't understand.
Lucky river, huh?
Yeah, if it comes king on the river, you probably check fold. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is not my department. I think you get an email once they go live on Twitch. But you're right. They should be letting you know. It's certainly been all over Facebook and Twitter, so I don't know if you are joined King's Casino. Warren Lush is the guy that does all the PR. I post it. Jens posts it. He does the German commentary. Maybe add some of us on Facebook. It's great to see these guys having fun.
I'm just waiting to see. I've never seen you check on any river, any turn, any. I check as well.
Greetings from Milan. Good evening. Welcome. Let us know what your favourite cards are. Everyone's got favourites. 10-8, 7-6s, Jack 9s, pocket 7s I like as well.
Shaking the nuts. That's only good for tournaments, right?
So Scotty went out today, got a haircut.
It's almost chipped up.
1 round penalty. That's good.
Yes, it should be. It should be checking the nuts. Oh, I got massively slow rolled in this tournament we're playing now.
Don't know if Leon will be playing today. He's involved in a very high stakes Omaha game, just to the right of that feature table that we can see at the moment. A couple of high stakes games going on behind the scenes, as always. Martin Cabril is playing, and we've got the winner from the WSOP circuit event. I think we did that towards October time, if I remember correctly. With a gut shot for Tobias. Scotty, top pair, bottom kicker. Bod, how we doing? I am back. I was about to say back for good, but you never know. Yeah, I had a baby 6 weeks ago, so I wasn't able to be here. I'm glad you've tuned in. Well, he's bet. Scott is called. And pretty sure he can... But there's reasons for checking, because if your opponent had the ace, you don't need to waste money on the turn. But if you want to take control of the pot, you can bet again. If Scott has got a hand, he's going to raise you at this point. But he's decided he's got some showdown. He can beat the 10. And he's probably not going to have to face a bet on the river. I'd like to see Scotty bet here, as it was checked him on the turn. But that is not Scotty's style. If he bets here, I can't imagine it's much for value, because a 10's not really going to call. It's more like he's going to turn his hand into a bluff, and it would have to be a big bet, but I think he'll get snap called. Tobias, a very accomplished player. Well, snap calls. He won't believe his opponent had an ace there. He'd be in shock. So he went for a value bet. So he had a bet folded. And if his opponent does have a 10, he thinks he can't fold for 1,000. But 7-9 got there, Jack-9 got there. It's a good spot to make a big bet. Will we be streaming the cash game? Leon will be playing at some point over the next 2 days. We've got 2 sessions tomorrow, 2 sessions Tuesday. So I'm pretty sure we will see Leon at some point.
What do you want to see? Easy call anyway.
Very good.
All right, now we're going to play. This is going to be a rock and roll hand. I have a feeling there's a re-entry coming. This is going to be a rebuy.
Well, not this hand. Not unless they go crazy. Excuse me. Cheeky stab. Half pot. Scotty, middle pair, is going to see the turn. What about a queen? Oh, pairs the king. It's a good card for Scotty.
Check.
Yeah, Max is just not in the mood right now. He knows on that board Scotty will have some of it. Now Scotty should check.
Nuts. Don't show it. I have the nuts.
No, they're not going to play 300, 600 in an hour, but there is scheduled, I believe, to be a 200, 400 game in one of the sessions. Still don't have the Wi-Fi up, so but when we take a break, I'll get all the information and relay it to you, of course. Sad news about Prince, obviously. He was a legend. I think they should play Prince in the background, put a CD on. George Danzer. Just called. Scotty's folded. We'll have to call the doctor. Besim hot, not folding. Well, this could be it for Besim. Could be the first reload. Yeah, we need a bit of a 500 1K game. I don't think there's too many players for that. I think they all got hurt. Well, he's check called 500. Look at this, Besim. Only gone and found the 7 from heaven. If George bet the flop, he's likely to bet the turn. But if you check raise, your hand does become face up. But can't imagine George would fold to Besim. Well, George can just flat this. He's kept pot control by flatting pre. He's definitely not going to raise this.
I'm playing. I have
A, because if he does raise, he's going to lose a customer that he's beating. And if he's losing, he's going to do chunks, and all the money is going in. Besim's just going to move in.
Now and then.
Well, I mean, now.
Wow, he's just going for value. He's been getting some lessons. Well, the all-in's coming. Wow, just a flat. Let's see what the other players at the table think when they see the hands.
Now, let me tell you a quick lesson. This is why. Don't play this.
See, when I'm at the table and I see that, I ask where the rest of the pot is. George Danzer. To be fair, he was ahead pre-flop. He was ahead on the flop. He got unlucky on the turn. He caught the river.
Only call on the river. And just the call. Just the call.
Tough crowd today to get money from.
Oh, he
raises it. There's no more going.
There's no more go. There's no more go. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, in a cash game, if George 3-bets pre, he's going to lose a lot of action if the board does come ace high. But he's a player that, as you just saw, he's prepared to keep pot control with top pair, top kicker.
I was gonna make it fold the
Didn't want to inflate a pot, flop a pair. If the board comes like ace, jack, 9, and not know where he is.
I do the same trick as we did before.
But the river, I think I'd have raised the river myself. Everybody's different.
Before the river.
Okay.
I think Besim should look at this like he's on a free roll now. Because the old Besim just moves in on that river. Especially when it comes an ace.
Shit. The lower one. Well, the lower one could be a 6. Yeah. Higher one could be a jack.
And then you fold the 6, right?
Well, I mean, right now I need
Again, by showing that hand, when he does, as the game gets deeper, if he does start to make moves, players will give him a lot more respect. So it could be part of the game plan to start off this way. As the game develops,
I was going to fold this one. I'm going to fold now.
He can certainly use that image and take down pots that are quite a bit larger than the extra money he'd have got out of Besim. That is true. It would be boring. And all we need now, I think we've got to be on about 20 hands. The button started on Besim. We didn't have Tobias at the table at the start. So it must be around 20 hands. And nobody has reloaded.
I do this sometimes to stop myself from losing a lot of money.
Wow, Scotty has 3-bet this. He's put the squeeze on. Tomovic opened. Jonas flatted with the queens. Scotty 3-bet. Besim has got ducks. He's moving in. I don't like this with the ducks myself. Trap 1, Aleks Tomovic, a solid player. Trap 2, Jonas, no fall, flat. Scotty 3-bets. With deuces, you're probably going to get minimum 1. You should be getting 2 callers in this spot. So you're going to be against either 2 overcards and an overpair, or 3 to 4 overcards, or even 2 overpairs. Now what's happening here is, some people think it's like bad etiquette when you've got a big hand here, but he wants to keep Scotty in. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, well, how deep is he? 12k. Yeah, the problem is Scotty's already put 2k in. It's hard to flat call because he's going to call for 1300.
But I'm not as dumb as I
Take out 2.
There's a dead 2k in there. Twos against coins.
See, I snap call and I win. But over here against Mr. Nit.
8-3 of diamonds it was for Scotty.
Against Mr. Nit.
We'll hear about it if he hits.
I watch my 8-3 diamonds win this game.
Well, there is the lady. Near enough, drawing dead. I'm guessing a 2's been folded because he can't hit running 2s.
But if you flat, you get more of my money. I'm still sure I'm ahead now.
It's easy when you see the cards.
Diamond.
Oh, yeah, what a...
And they call that drawingdead.com. The first player to reload. Besim hot. I believe it was 21 hands. If that was you, you've won a goodie bag.
What's that?
Jack 3 suit would have done the job.
Was good thinking.
Yeah.
Nice pot. Chips.
But
And Tarkin bringing the chips over.
you surprised me.
Clipboard will be out shortly for the autographs.
You felt it. You got a good feeling you had there, you bastard.
Just got a call. I knew it was coming.
Son of a snake.
I prefer he shoves with his king 7 and sticks the money in there. But he likes the action. If we were playing 50p a pound and the bet was 30 quid, we might fancy a gamble too. It's all pro rata.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, of course he wanted to reload with that shove. But the truth is, you can reload and still keep that money. And now you've got 13k behind. And when you double up, you're on 26. Scotty now with the ladies. Full of life. Can he find someone with a hand behind him? Well, look at this. Deuces against queens again.
With a huge hand.
Calling with the deuces.
Go for it, Judge. Very credible. Now I can probably represent.
Pidun's called with king 6.
Ace.
Probably just to get Scotty with one of his famous hands.
But then it would be too awkward. I think if he would be ready, that would be like.
And the queen has come out. Gut shot for Pidun. Can Scotty find a little 400 here?
It's like Eric said that.
Don't go too big.
I'm going to try a
He's the
rainbow.
guy you don't expect it from.
A rainbow's one of each. That is 1650.
You kind of have to do
That's
it
over betting the pot. The only reason I can only assume he's doing this, that if his opponent has a big draw, he's going to get all the money in. But if he does have a big draw, like 10 bit of hearts, do you really want to get all the money in?
Sorry, 10 of hearts.
With
And
a
he
heart.
proudly shows them.
I don't think I should wait on that flop. See no reason to wait.
You see the pros telling Scotty, yeah, you've done nothing wrong.
No, I'm not sure. So yeah, we never know what this guy had.
I just think
That
nobody.
is the beauty, they never know. I think if it had made a smaller bet,
I had queens that time.
gets on.
And the flop came queen jack 10. So, queen jack 9, sorry. So I bet everybody out of the pot. And nobody paid me. I'm happy to win it right there. I hate queens. I'd much rather play 4 5s.
Well, it's not difficult to get queens, you know. Does the jack really pay
So
off?
I can assume he's probably got 4-5 in this coup.
Take it and run home.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanna know
Raised
right
up
now
by
if
Aleks Tomovic. Called by Scotty with a 6 deuce.
I'm much more comfortable playing
Very tough.
4 5s.
I mean, you want a 3 bet with the ace queen, but against Tomovic, Tomovic's decision is if he flats, Scott is in as well. If he 3 bets, the money's going in and he's probably in a flip. You probably want to flat and maybe like do a stop and go. But against Pidun's stack of 5,400, I'd like to see a raise. That way your head's up. You don't have to worry about Scotty. He's just called.
Just when you made it so huge to win 22 hours later.
So that was what he was thinking about, I'm pretty sure. And he opted for the call. See a safe flop.
Somebody else's child's education.
He's not here to gamble, he's here to play the odds. And look at this, they're flopping sets for fun. 2 overs and a gut shot for the button. Tomovic checks, Hanna checks, C-bet surely coming in here. And if there is a C-bet, we may even see a flat.
One hand. Right? The first match was one hand, yeah. The other 2 matches were like 25.
That was Scotty said he hates queens. Yeah, why is he playing them? 1,800 at the C-bet. Can't blame him for that. Tomovic. He already knows what he's going to do. He's just giving it some time to try and get Scotty in behind. Well, he's just moved in.
Biggest
He
bets.
just wants to go against the short stack.
Very largest bets.
And maybe if Scotty did have any of that, he'd get his chips as well. It's very tough to pass for 3,600. He's all in for 18, 3, 6, 4, 5, 4. 4 is 4.5. So there's about 13.5 in the middle, because the pot size top left corner takes into account the 11,000 Tomovic is all in for. So it's 3.5 into 13. If Tomovic does have a flush draw, he would have played it this way too. So it's very hard to fold 2 overs and a gut shot in this situation. You could be ahead if you're behind to like a... Well, what's the hand that he's raised with? King, Queen, Ace, Queen of clubs, potentially. You can see there's a dog. Club on the turn, no good.
Oh, is there a showdown? Where is no showdown? There should be a showdown.
Yeah, all in. There should be a showdown. It's irrelevant as it happens because it's streamed. The cards get shown anyway.
Das war die Action. Alles rein, Sepp gegen Overcard.
Chips.
Flop.
Ja, 3 Bet Free und dann Bet. Nein, der noch 3 glaube ich.
So.
Wir haben dort einen Overcard today. Car crash poker. 3 hours of poker.
What? Car crash?
Car crash poker. It was like we played on the table over here. 3 hours and it was every hand was car crash. Yeah. King 8. King 3. Bang, 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 bang. And I was like, okay, what do you guys
Ich muss sagen, ich bin schon ein bisschen enttäuscht, dass du jetzt hier alleine bist.
Pretty standard stuff for cash games. As long as you're playing within your bankroll, should be c-betting this flop.
That's just nasty.
But you know, if you c-bet and get raised with what you've got left. So Scotty just calls with 6-2 last hand, folds it this hand.
Und kommunizieren wird dann so auf mit Händen und
Besim pumps it up.
Zwischen den beiden, ja. Gabby lernt so ein bisschen Deutsch und hat so ein bisschen so ein paar Begriffe, dass man nur dabei ist, was los ist, weißt du, wenn du im Detail verstehen,
Max with the sevens, and Aleks Tomovic in the big blind with the ace king. Again, we see another flat.
Ja, ja, ja. Weniger als man denkt, am Anfang mehr. Aber jetzt laufen die Sachen ein bisschen.
A lot of the aggro players with a 3-bet.
Und ich kenne dann nach dabei, dann weiß ich,
Unfortunately, when you hit, you're only going to get action now from a hand like King, Queen, King, Jack. You kind of want the ace to hit the board, because somebody that's raising pre is more likely to have the ace. A player like Besim raising pre. Tomovic calls. Besim is done with a hand unless he can find the Jack or Queen of clubs on the turn. Oh no, he's raised. That's it. That's the end of the hand. If I remember correctly, last time we had the stream, Aleks Tomovic got some very nice gifts, and he won most of his chips without getting to showdown. There's a reload for 20,000. So somebody was talking earlier about the Roland the Wolf hand. I don't know if you put the hand in.
That was the last hand.
That was much chill. Let us know the hand. There is the 3 deuce of hearts. They call it the Zimbly. Raised on the button. Limp call from Besim. And Max, the pre-flop aggressor, flops top pair. Snap fold.
So for sure he had kings. This is the same guy who had the set of kings before and raked in 10,000 in one pot. So he's like folded. I think maybe an ace king. So it's like, and when Cabrahel jumps up, it's like, I have pocket nines, how do I fold 10 9? So, oh, thank God I folded. It's 2 hours.
Set over set.
Set over set. Should be 2 hours.
It should be a little.
It should be. If you do the set, you should have to.
Suited gappers
Set over set should be.
for Besim. Pumps it up to 300.
Except when I get a set right now against Mesco.
Snap call
I have a set.
from both blinds.
Yes.
Straight draw.
You have a straight
4-5 flop would be good. Gut shot for the pre-flop aggressor. Should have probably c-bet, but he must know it's coming. If you've checked the flop, you must check the turn. No one has any of this.
7 I have.
And if they've hit the jack, they'll make a bet on the turn. So me, I would have preferred... Me, I would have checked that there myself. If they both checked the flop to me, well, I would have c-bet the flop. But if I did check it, definitely check when I hit.
4 5 6. No, 3 4 5 would have made it straight.
And I make a set.
There we go. There we go.
Check, bet, fold, I know. You don't see that often. Especially at these stakes. These big pairs are coming out. Solid fold from George. In a cash game. Can understand in a tournament.
Needs it. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Bit of Elvis in the background. We've got Jens on the German stream. On live stream. He's got his own Twitch show now.
Frische Minze? Oder halt Minze in Blättern oder halt Beutel.
So 4 Germans. Tobias, Daniel, George and Max. In seats 5, 6, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm.
Es geht schon wieder los.
And it's your turn.
Yeah, okay, then I'm not for sure.
Well, straddling play, and he's flatted. Look at this from Jonas, flats with jacks. Oh no, I was going to say, I thought you flatted to get Scotty to raise the button.
I'm going to bet a whole bunch of fruit.
Before the button.
Folded the button, that's true. It's for $600.
Especially the comment that Scotty made earlier that he has not folded a button since 1960 odd.
Eating strawberries.
Also Bock habe ich auf jeden Fall auch.
Beautiful plate, but how are you?
What do you need?
Right time.
Ich weiß noch nicht, ob's... Ich glaube, gerade ist noch viel zu viel irgendwo in der...
Plate is beautiful.
I'm looking forward to the Omaha tomorrow myself.
Without a spoon, without nothing to fork.
Can't get on the internet. Had a couple of friends at a final table at a tournament in the UK I was watching earlier.
Aber ich muss es nicht forcieren gerade.
But then we had to come to work.
Ist noch ein bisschen Zeit.
So I can't even see if they're doing any good. I hope they are. I hope they came first and second. George, if he's folding ace-jack to a raise in late position. It's decided to open. Could see a flat here from Max, and I don't blame him. George is a solid player. If he raises, he's either going to get re-raised or a fold. They both give each other a lot of respect. Plus, he wants to keep Scotty in. Someone take the fruit away. That's what they're saying in German. Take that food away from him. He keeps folding.
Erklär weiter. Du kommst irgendwie von dieser Box raus.
An ace-deuce suited folded the small blind. Well, George can take a stab here. Doesn't have to be big. 400, 350, 400, even 300. But he's gone for 6. That's what we were talking about earlier, his image. Now, Max, knowing George's game, could put George on a big pair. I think if George would have bet like 400, Max could have made it like 1,000. On an ace-high board, when a player raises, a solid player raises an early position, it's usually a pocket pair.
I'm going to win this pot.
Right, Scott has announced he's winning this pot. The limpers. The early position player should limp.
Well, I'm greedy.
they got
Wanna go for a split?
big hands.
Stier.
I hope I have king 3.
I do too.
The devil in disguise. Well, bit out of character so far for Jonas, I think. For Max to raise under the gun. Jonas to call with a jack 7. I can only assume it's to make a bit of a play. George not even making it up out of the big blind with jack 9. And he has to look away. Jonas, 1200 in the middle. A little 800 is normally what he goes for. He's normally doing 3/4 pot. Well, he's gone for 7.
Fabulous. Fabulous. I spent part of the time in Thailand, part of the time in the US. I had a really nice week of golf on the Oregon coast in February. Raining like this. Sunny, crazy, great weather. But for golf, man, crazy challenge.
Yeah, for sure. We need Leon.
Too good for me. What's your handicap? That's pretty good. Yeah, well, this was Bandon Dunes. We were playing off the hardest tee boxes in crazy weather. There was 12 of us, and I was by a long shot the worst golfer.
So how much did you win?
I lost every bet. I lost every bet in 4 days ago. Every bet. Actually, I halved 2 times with the guys. I mean, we played off the wrong tees for me.
Tobias hat gemeint, dann ist es sicher korrekt.
Ich habe diese Film schon einmal gesehen und es ist nicht gut ausgegangen, Junge.
Bei mir ist 1000-mal nicht gut ausgegangen.
Dieses Film ist nominiert für den Academy Award.
Look at that. I pop out the room for 1 minute. We got a hand.
Mal hat gewonnen. Zum 4. Mal.
4 bet from Besim. King, Queen of clubs folded. He's likely to be crushed.
Ja, wie Leonardo DiCaprio.
Does Scotty want to gamble?
Leonardo DiCaprio Kroatians.
That's a very interesting question. If you'd like to play, I'm pretty sure they're up for having fresh blood.
4. Mal gewinnt immer.
We'd have to arrange it, obviously. I'm pretty sure if you wanted to play, we could get you in. Let me know. At Paul Zimbler on Twitter. Email PokerRoomKings if you find that easier. If you got the money, they'll give you a seat. Of course, the reason that we're doing 2 sessions tomorrow, 2 on Tuesday, is there's a lot of demand, and we can do both Omaha and a Hold'em session. So there's a lot more players looking to play. There's a lot of players here to get on the private jet on Wednesday. I guess that makes my chances of getting on there even slimmer. Come on, Tejav. Tejavu.
Oh, not full house.
Well,
I'm playing 8-3. Doesn't matter what I have. I'm playing 8-3.
well, George here doesn't believe him. He puts him on exactly what he's got. And Hanna has to bluff the river. But he's decided to give it up because George is so solid and has called behind.
I have the dog.
I believe George would have called the river.
Turn for me.
I should have checked the nuts behind.
Yes, you did.
Penalty for you.
I should have bet 2,000 with the flush draw.
So Leicester City looks like they're home and dry.
You would have told it. So I would have
Near
bet
enough
nothing on the river.
won the Premiership. Who would have thought? I don't know if anyone can tell me the final football score. from the second semi-final. Any of you guys in the UK saw the football today? If you could let me know, it would be great. So I just went to see Jens next door. He just gave me a $100 bill with his picture in the middle. That is true. No, I think he's going to do the 2-1 Palace. Wow. I think he said he would do match of the day in his underwear if Leicester won the league.
This was a gambling one for
This
me.
might have been a gambling.
Yeah, no, I know they're against Watford.
You had ace jack?
Thank you. So Palace won.
That's not a very good hand.
You support
Second
Palace?
Can't game poker, right? Ace queen is always the worst.
I bet you were. I'm a Liverpool fan, and the other day I was out and the football was on. We went 2-0 down. I thought, oh, don't need to stay and watch this. I'll go home to bed. Woke up in the morning only to find out I'd missed another classic.
Auto call up to 6 times my big blind. Here comes Provocazione. Just a call. Julian as well. Yeah,
Scott is not folding.
Limping with the nuts this time.
With George, he's opening up. And this is a good bet, a good board for him to c-bet. He's going to rep the ace, and if he gets called, he's got a pair and can improve. Jonas is going to call one street, I'm pretty sure. He's got backdoor hearts, second pair. If you're calling here, I wouldn't even mind a little re-raise, because then you get the information. Otherwise, you're just what? You're going to call 2 streets, 3 streets. Can you check call? This is where George can use his image. We spoke about this right at the beginning. And it's going to be a fold, I'm pretty sure. And you can't blame him. Yeah, Leicester won 4-0 today. I saw that part.
Yeah.
No breaks. No
I was
breaks.
very upset that Man United won, though. I won't lie.
We're in Thailand, were you?
Yeah, pretty standard hand there. And well played, George. Shows the 6.
I have a bunch of friends who live there, and a couple of them work in Singapore. And, last 3 years, I've been going there and playing golf.
You can't lie to people either at the table because the whole cards will be shown.
I've traveled to all the other places. It's fun, but this is, for me, it's just a nice, relaxing.
So we've been going for about an hour. 37 hands, pretty standard. A couple of players away from the table. As you can see, they're being dealt in. They do this here until you get to the big blind. Then they won't deal you in, and they'll give you a missed blind button. Deja Vu is going to bully these boys. I'd like to see it. Got to put your money where your mouth is.
I like almost every place I visit in Thailand.
So Max opens, both the blinds defend. The big blind with a genuine hand. So he flops a gut shot. Top pair for Tobias. And Scotty with bottom pair.
Super awesome, really cheap, and
Yeah, little c-bet. I like this. There's really only one scare card there. Scotty calls. How is Tobias going to play this? Those green chips, they're 5k a piece. 5,000 euros for a bit of plastic. Now Tobias knows that if he checks, he's likely to give a free card away, because once Max is called in 2 spots, if he's going to fire the turn, it's got to be big. So he's more likely to check. Yeah, makes sense to me. That jack on the river. Scotty might try a cheeky stab here for 1,000. He might even do a rainbow. No. Tobias can make this look like a draw, a misdraw. If he bets 1,000 like he did last time, these guys have got history. 1,000, he would get called. Scotty says nuts and turns over a deuce. Thought he might have gone for a bit of value. Maybe he didn't want to get raised.
Nuts against Max. Nuts.
Yeah, just never take it personally. A lot of people, they try and just go for the aggressor at the table and they're after one person. That always ends very badly. Play the game, wait for your spots. Just make sure when you're playing against that aggro player, remember that he knows that you're after him.
Come on.
And as crazy as they are, if your image is solid, they're less likely to pay you off. Aggro players, gamblers like to gamble with gamblers. You won't see them gambling with George too much. We've been going, I reckon, about an hour or so far. Picked up a little air conditioning bug on Ryanair. Pocket nines, UTG, imp. Tomovic in position, suited connectors. I like it. Jonas, suited connectors. We could get a flop here. If it catches one of them, it will catch them all. Can Scotty find a squeeze? Can't imagine he's going to squeeze here. Would make 0 sense. Well, it's near enough a family affair.
Well then, let's all sort it out.
Okay, what do we need? Like a 8-7 board with 2 spades. Beautiful. Ace, 7-8, 2 spades. 5-5 queen. Jonas way out in front. Nut flush draw for the A7. Not a bad flop for the 9s either. Could be fireworks. That's what we need. That's a very good question. They vary because at different times there's good action in different places. I've been hearing, I don't really play too much at the minute. There's always good action in my local, which is the Mint, Cromwell Mint in South Ken. It's not a big game, it's a small game, it's friendly, but there's value. There's also recently quite a big deep stack game. And then of course you've got the Hippodrome. Recently the Empire's had a few good games. I'm not a big fan of paying £1 out of every pot for a bad beat jackpot. So I never used to go to the Empire myself. And of course you've got the Vic, which is renowned. But the problem is you have less tourists there. The beauty with the Hippodrome is you get the drunks over the weekend, same at the Empire. But for me the best place, Dusk Till Dawn in Nottingham. By far the best place in the UK. No comparison. They do 36-hour cash game weekends. Rob does phenomenal things for the poker community. He's just announced the Caribbean 10-year anniversary. So I'm happy to say it's a family holiday. We're off to the Caribbean. $3-6 to call. You're not getting the right price. Do not chase flushes on paired boards. People that chase flushes go home on buses. this would be more of a tilt call if he were to call. He knows Jonas maybe is possible of making this move. If you're going to call, you're probably better off just moving in. And he's just called. Because if your opponent was bluffing, you can get him off the pot. What are you going to do now when a brick comes? You're just going to let him barrel you. I think Jonas knows his opponent has a flush draw or a queen. I might have checked the river myself. So for 1-2, the best rate you can expect to get in London. I think they're all pretty similar. They're like 5% capped at a tenner. Pretty sure that's pretty standard all over the UK. Wow, that's terrible. Maybe he slept with his wife or something. Who knows? Is Scotty winning? Are you talking about today or just in life? Aleks is a pro, Jonas is a pro, Scott is a recreational player, Besim is a recreational player, Tobias, Daniel, George and Max all pros. You don't recognise George Danzer. Pow, just after winning a nice pot, flopping 3 of a kind, getting some value, you pick up the boots. Really surprised he flatted there. Don't really want to go to a flop 4-handed. Scott has not really been free betting, not been in that mood. Great flop for the 5-3. Apart from flopping the world or flopping it dead, this is the flop you'd ask for. Of course, you'd want the 2 and the 4 of clubs there, but yeah, no problem at all, Suddy. Sud on Onium. See, now with aces, you call, and if there's any hint of a move behind, it's just game over. Well, Scotty Hanna has floated for runner. That is no joy for anyone. Now, if Tomovic checks here, it's a really tough spot for aces. He's got absolutely no idea where he is. He may put Tomovic on a pair bigger than 8s or bigger than 4s. Tomovic could have flopped a set. He's certainly not barreling with something like ace-king here on the turn. And you kind of just get yourself, I know you got position, get yourself in a bit of a spot there. And you're just going to be in call mode. Scotty. We all know what he's thinking. Sedium. Okay, thanks for that. Hansa Limp is in the casino. He's on the blackjack table. We need Hans. He'll be here later. Well, that is a great card for the aces. Very lucky. Tomovic knows his opponent's got something. He probably puts his opponent on... Probably doesn't put him on aces. He probably puts him on something like 10s or 9s. So it's got to be really 3/4 plus size pot or a check. And with Tomovic's image, I think Jonas would go into the tank for ages. I'd love to see a pot size bet here by Tomovic. But it's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure he's checking behind. He might go for like 4.5k, and if he gets raised, just fold to try and get value from 9s or 10s. That makes sense as well. Can't imagine you want to go for a full-size pot because for me that just doesn't make sense the way he's played the hand. Soon find out. Yeah, it looks like about 4 and a bit. Oh no, 7. 6,600. And he won't take more than couple of minutes. 10 seconds, those cards will be in the dustbin. Wow, this is a real hero call. He can beat 5x. What can he have? 5-7. You can't beat 5-6. You can't beat ace-5. 5 deuce you can beat. If he could find the check raise, this hand would go viral. But he's not going to do it. Pot after pot. There they are. The green chips, 5,000 euros a piece. The yellows, 1,000. The, let's call them pink, are 500s. The white chips, 100. And the blue chips, 50 euros.
Scotty knew if he's calling, he has like a 28% chance that I call too.
Sorry about that. Having one of my 5 a day. So it's open there by Tomovic, I believe. All in for the 4s. George flats behind. He just wanted to find out where he was against Tomovic's open. He didn't want to move in and take a big flip. He can just call and get the info. And he doesn't mind if Tomovic would have called behind. Well, it's a bad flop for the 4s. A 5 now counterfeits the 4s. It's the worst way to lose a pot. Looks safe from here. Pocket 4s. The 9-10 of spades would have got there. Would have seen all 5 cards as well, so I'm quite surprised. Gamblers would have called there with the 9-10 of spades, knowing they're going to get to see all 5 cards if their opponents miss. And there's no side pot. Once Max calls, you know he's got a hand, but you've got a gambling hand that if Max hits the flop, he's going to bet. If he misses the flop, you're going to see all 5 cards. Tomovic, this is the 3rd hand in a row that he's opened. He's had his Weetabix. Now, Scotty said earlier he'd rather have 4-3 than pocket queens. Can't flop a set of queens with 4-3 though.
It was so obvious I had basically. And he had pocket 4s, of course.
A 3-bet. Open and 2 limpers from the weak, what the pros would perceive as the weaker players at the table. Quite rightly 3 bets. Tomovic. Tough spot. If he flats, he's getting 2 callers behind. It's called. Scotty is definitely not folding.
I can at least look again.
And Besim hot. Solid fold.
One more time.
Yeah, it's quite true, I guess. But then everybody flops the set. Well, that is not the flop that Scotty was looking for. It's a great flop for a C-bet. Middle pair, backdoor diamonds. 7-1 in the middle. I reckon he's going to bet 3,300. You don't need to go too big. You don't want to make it too small. Somewhere in the middle. That looks like... Well, 35. Same. Like this bet. 2-5. Same. I say I like this bet. They know what they're doing. A king might just flat behind. Can Scotty get creative? Yeah, it'd be good to see Scotty clean these boys out. When we had the 500, 1,000 game, Leon absolutely, not only Leon, the guys that came in from Macau, they destroyed the field.
I'd say yes, but
we saw millions on the table being lost by these pros that are coming to try and attack what they think are the whales. And it really was a good example why you shouldn't really play with people that have unlimited funds. Doesn't matter how good you are, when money's on the line, the bigger the stakes, the more you shrivel up. They've got the edge. Play within your means. Scotty, in the meanwhile, they call this hand the dog, the K9.
I've got a lot of, actually, on the Maldives, on a hand line with some crazy guys. When you're wearing, just wearing gloves.
Gloves, right?
Yeah, I was. But the idiots who were taking us out, captains.
No gloves.
A friend of mine is
you cut all you.
friend of mine was the general manager of a hotel, one and only. And I was out there for 2 weeks once, and I said this boat. And these guys had Coca-Cola bottle with like 200 liters of shit on it, and throw it. First, they catch like a bonita tuna. They take a plastic bag, cut it into like blue ribbons, and catch the little bonita tuna and chop him up, and put them on there, and then throw it out. And then we're catching yellowfins. And the guy caught, I swear to God, without gloves, he was on his ass.
You cut your hands, right?
Yeah, it's not about good play, it's just about action. We're here for a good time. I'd like to see Max get the lot. I've got a lot of time for Max, he's a nice guy. Very down to earth. Lovely wife. Had a child with the same name as my child, baby Eli. Never met anyone with a son called Eli, and Max has got a kid born 4 weeks before mine.
Nein, ich habe ein besser Hand als du und ein Superhand Preflop. Check raise von dieser Ecke.
Scotty is, yes, he's a businessman. Just loves the game. He's a regular here. He'll sit and play 1-1 with the boys. He'll play 1-3, 2-5, 5-10, 10-25, 50, 100. He's even playing the 100, 200 games here. But he won't play Omaha in August. Goes to Marbella to play golf. Yeah, 500, 1,000 we played a year ago, or within the last year. You can catch it on
5 times on the boat
on their Twitch channel. You can play it back.
3 whale sharks. One day one and one day one. Diving just from the boat. I wasn't there.
In fact, Igor was very lucky not to do his proverbials.
Win with the jackass.
He got the very wealthy businessman from Macau to fold pocket 8s. Yeah. 8s are very lucky for a lot of Asian cultures, Chinese as well. And he was in winning form, and he just won a big pot. And he was absolutely crushed. I think he moved in with 3s for his case 100,000. I think he was down about 4. I think he was in for about 500,000. And his best friend was in for about 800,000. That is not a good day's work when you've come to win money. To do about 1.3 mil between you. But they managed to claw some of it back. Sounds like they're having a bit of a party out there. Give Me Hope. That's the appropriate song for this game. I actually don't believe Scotty's folded the 10-4. Roger, over and out.
There used to be a diving island, like 2-star diving island called Peredu, and they remodeled it into a 4-star really chase thing called Italia. And direct next to this is one and only. And those were the only 2 islands, the only 2 hotels.
So what countries have we got people on from today?
And my friend was,
if you've just joined us, welcome. We're here at the King's Casino Rozadov. Celebrity Cash Kings. Today is 50, 100, no limit hold'em. Max Altergott Just taking a reload or signing off on the chips that he just got.
Quite a large boat. You guys stand there barefoot with one foot on the rudder and they drive.
We're here for 5 hours this evening. We started at 8:30 local time. We'll be back tomorrow.
And, then we were fishing. These guys, and I tell you, they were catching everything. No gloves.
I think I'll check at the break, but I believe
How much skill is there?
we start at 5 p.m.
Skill. Where we
No,
were
4 till 8, and then we come back 10 till 2.
The yellowfin, you usually see them from a long distance away.
I'll get it all confirmed.
It's a big pack.
I'm going to leave you with Scotty for a minute.
So you just sail the boat over and
I'll be back in a moment. Look at that. I've got to watch this. The ladies. Trap 2, Jonas on fire.
yellowfin, fantastic. Leon has got a yellowfin.
Found the ladies.
Mauritius.
He's had all the big hands today.
Same morning for sushi, which is not recommendable.
This should be a fold from Daniel.
Like it's not recommended anyways.
Or an
We're on
all-in.
camera, so I won't tell you what color Leon was when he was on the boat.
Because it has already been called by Scotty with King Queen. Sorry, the action is not on Dan. If Tobias calls, but he hasn't, that is going to save. It's going to save Daniel. If Tobias did call, you couldn't blame him for putting a squeeze in. I'd like to see a flat call now on the button.
Why is it not recommended? Eating yellowfin?
Tobias is deep.
Depends
You've
on
got
what they catch.
position.
Like for America, the law is you have to flash freeze.
Again, that situation, if you do flat,
You eat sushi
you
in
got
the States.
Scotty in.
Oh, it's not raw.
We
It's
saw
flash frozen and then
Alex Tomovic
they say if you
in
catch
that same dilemma with pocket tens.
you could have
He
lead,
flatted.
plastic stuff.
He managed to flop a set of tens. Well, Scotty's got King Queen. There you go, it's just come up on the screen.
US flash freeze. But very
Okay, also Freeze und dann Freeze die wir was
Wenn direkt auf dem Boot eingefahren zu
We'll probably get like a 4-4-8 board. Kill all the action. Come on, the action.
5-7.
There's a spade. Oh, look at this board. Money is going. Well, it's not too much going in, but Scotty's only got 5k. His hand's so big, but he has to c-bet. Doesn't have to be big. Me, I'd bet 2,500 because Scott has got 5,100. By betting half of Scott's stack, it puts the opponent in the middle in a bit of a difficult dilemma because he knows the dynamics that if he does call and Scotty moves in, he's capable to reshove. He's opted to check. Can't imagine why I'd want to bet these queens here. Scotty could have hit this and he just wouldn't open chip. I mean, you've literally got one out. And Scotty's got it, and look at that. And I don't think Tobias is going to get any value from his hand. But I don't want to speak too soon. This is Scotty. Doesn't have a spade. Second pair top kicker. You're only going to get called if you beat. Correct. I like this check. Tobias should check again probably. If you don't want to bet top pair nut flush draw, if Scotty's got anything, he'll put his money in on the river. So Scotty probably has nothing. You're not going to get too much money from Jonas on this turn. I know why he did check. He wanted to check to make it look like he didn't have any of that in his 3-bet with... He's probably trying to represent he's got queens or kings, like queens with a queen of spades here. By checking the flop. And if that is a hand, that's the only hand that Scotty can beat. So Scotty will put him on it. I think Scott is better off waiting for a bit of a coup later on, erase a few callers and just stick it in. You've got more chance of winning a hand like that and doubling or trebling up than you have putting any more chips into a pot like this. It's been opened, you flatted, it's been 3-bet, called and called. King Queen's going to be crushed somewhere along the line. Well, it can only be disastrous. If you're calling the turn, what, you're going to fold the river? It's probably one of the only, a spade is the only, well, he's just moved in. Hats off to Scotty. He called with a plan that if it came a spade, he was just going to bet. But unfortunately, his stack's not big enough.
10,000, please.
And chips are required.
Proceed. Hello.
Okay, the game is warming up.
Nice answer.
Jonas, 20,000 in the black. Dan, Besim and Scotty, along with Max. Well, it says Daniel Altergott. It's Max in the hole. Let's get the party started. I'll be back in 2.
That is true. Good if tape called.
You would like that?
No, well, we were playing this game last week. It would have been pretty. Go with all in anyway. Yeah. Drop the nuts.
Auf den Körper reagiert und das für dich abnutzen will.
Das war mir dann wichtig genug. Ich weiß, vorher war es mir nicht wichtig genug, selber alles so mit Details geht. Aber wenn du plötzlich diesen Unterschied hast, dann ist die Chance zu kennen.
Ja, beim Kind ist die Varianz halt viel größer. Nicht bei uns viel vertragen halt schon, wenn du crappy ist. Aber du
kennst den Körper.
Das
ist von neu auf Anfang. Das ist so was
beschweren.
Also erase and new install.
So, writing.
Also nicht mehr erase. Aber hier musst du erstmal erasen.
Straße, Flash.
Ja?
Base.
Right.
Ansonsten muss man anders rutschen. Mal anders rutschen. Nächstes Mal. Wenn ich nicht dabei bin. Treibst du dich jetzt eigentlich rum?
München. Bisschen Reisen, weil Kapstadt im Januar für 2 Wochen. Dann jetzt 2 Wochen in Vegas.
Geht ja gar nichts.
Einmal im Jahr oder so. Ich werde jetzt auch einmal aufschießen in Vegas. Vegas?
Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's have a little wee. So, to give you some news on what's happening tomorrow, Monday, the Celebrity Deep Stack Special, 7 p.m. here at the King's Casino. It's a €10,000 guarantee for a €70 buy-in. 20,000 chips, 2 re-entries available, 20-minute levels. And on Tuesday, it's Meet the Stars, No Limit Hold'em, 1 times a rebuy of €25. The buy-in is 50. It's a €6,000 guarantee. Let's go to the hand. 10-8 suited, one of my favourites. Second pair with a gut shot. George Danzer, second pair with a gut shot. He does not want to find the 7. VPIP stats. That's a very good question. I don't think there is. So there was another pocket queens. Maybe that's the that can be the competition for tomorrow. How many pocket queens? There is the queen. Jack now also good for Tomovic. If George is checking, I would be betting if I was Tomovic. I'd rather bet the turn and check the river than check the turn and bet the river. And you don't want to check turn and check river and miss a bit of value. It's checked. A lady. I think you've got to know you're probably good here. I might put a small bet in, because if he did have an 8, even 6-7 might call. So that was Tuesday, and on Wednesday they've got a tournament. So of course there's 2 re-entries available on every tournament. Monday night, 20-minute levels. Tuesday night, 20-minute levels. Wednesday evening, I won't be here for this one, the King's Special Super Stack. €5,000 guarantee. €65 the buy-in, 25,000 chips. But the one on Tuesday is the one they're promoting, Meet the Stars. You start with 10,000 chips. You're allowed 1 rebuy for €25. For another 10,000 chips, you're allowed to re-enter twice. So you can buy in, have the rebuy, get knocked out. Buy in, have the rebuy, get knocked out. Buy in, have the rebuy. So 50, 6, 75. You'd be in for 225. You get to play with the stars. If that's your thing, come on down. Max Altergott should get the chips now from Daniel. Like the lead. If an opponent has a jack, he's going to get it on. Just a call. Warren Lush has entered the building. If you don't know who Warren Lush is, you're probably... Oh, look at this turn card. It's so good for the Jack 10-2. Max has got to bet here. I definitely bet your opponent's got something here when he's called you on the flop. He's a solid player. And that's just killed Max's action. Because if he checks, he's checking behind. So if you don't know who Warren Lush is, you're probably between the age of 16 and 20. If you're over 20, you know Warren. What stars? We're talking about Warren Lush, superstar. No, we're talking about all the high stakes pros, celebrities, whatever you want to call them. Liv Barry will be here. That's worth the 225 by itself for you guys. I don't know what the situation is, but Warren might be able to fill us in if maybe they get moved round tables. We'll put a chair in here, hold on.
Wo habt ihr denn am PC gearbeitet, wenn ich in Salzburg war oder in Kassel oder so? Ich habe auch meistens nachts gegrindet. Besonders als die Ami-Jahre da war, vor 2008, 2009 habe ich immer nur nachts gearbeitet.
Aber es ist halt mehr oder weniger ein conscious choice, weil du sagst, okay, du machst da mehr, aber tagsüber geht's gar nicht. So
Warren used to, well, he still is, I believe, Mr. Tony G's right-hand man.
Yeah, he's not here this week. A lot of people are asking where he is.
He's in Parliament.
He is.
Yes.
Also, der Leben.
But yes, tomorrow, Igor and Liv coming in tomorrow.
Von deinem Lebenskonto.
There's quite a few more. There's going to be about 30 players.
Yeah, Quirin Zek is coming, I believe. Martin Cabril's already here playing the high stakes. We have the WSOP main event champion coming in.
TSIs are supposed to be coming in, yes. Jedlico as well.
Yeah, Ismail Bojang, he was great at the table. He was good fun. Thomas Bichon.
And I've just seen Leon outside having dinner with Renato.
Game on. So I was just, because the Wi-Fi's down, we're just trying to find out tomorrow. Is it 4 till 8 and then 9 till 2? Long day tomorrow. Jamie Gold, yeah, he would be good. But they like him in America. I don't think they'd like him in Europe so much.
Ich muss mir vorstellen, die Leute, die nach Macau gezogen sind, weißt du? Das ist ja nochmal ein Stück her.
So Warren used to be the main man at Party Poker.
Macau ist auf jeden Fall nochmal eine Nummer härter als Vegas. Ja, deutlich. Das ist nochmal. Du bist halt Vegas ohne alle Sachen, die Spaß machen.
Und coole Leute.
Und Natur und so wird es auch nicht geben, oder?
Keine Natur,
Smogpark,
Du kannst mit der Ferry rüberfahren nach Hongkong, da siehst du ein bisschen Wasser.
Ja, das war.
In Hongkong kann man halten, weißt du? Also Hongkong ist schon eigentlich. In Hongkong gibt es eigentlich Natur.
Ja, und du kannst halt mit der Fähre rüber, also es geht schon, ne?
45 Minuten oder so. Ich hab so einen P-Trip nach Hongkong.
Ja.
Die Stadt wieder Fisch liegen.
Ich glaube, Macau war auf jeden Fall die schlimmste Zeit in meinem Leben. 2 Monate. 2,5 fast.
Man muss sagen, die Leute, die gelebt haben für 200 Jahre Grind, haben so richtig reichen wollen, weißt du?
Sind was?
Richtig Quatsch gemacht.
Top 2 for Georgie against the flush draw. 7 of diamonds, no help. George Danzer has to get the rest of the money in. His opponent's only got 2k. I don't know how it's not gone in unless something's not correct with the stats. Don't really understand what's taking so long. Maybe Scotty has got more than 2k. It's the only thing I can think about. This is where you see Danzer betting his 2-pair. Well, Scotty does have more than 2k. He's got a 5k chip there. Now it all makes sense. He's reloaded. And Scotty has called 3,500. 9 on the river. 9 of clubs, paired board. It's probably likely to go check. Oh, Scotty has just stuck in about 14,000 chips. Such a horrible card. George knows he's got a flush. And we're back with the Wi-Fi. George is folding this. I know he's only got 6.5k left, and it's Scotty. It's never a bluff from Scotty. He's either got the 9 or he's made the flush. And the way Scotty plays looks like the flush. Basically because when they reload, somebody has to go to the back office, because the person that does all the graphics, he's in an office, within an office with a security guard in there. So nobody can go in, obviously, because there's whole cards being shown. And the information has to be relayed, and sometimes it takes a hand or two for that to happen. So if Scotty would have called for chips, let's say last hand or 2 hands ago, it wouldn't have come up yet. Because he can't pay attention to everything, he's doing all the action tracking. So it can take a couple of hands. That's the reason why that happens. No, I don't disagree with that. He should bet. But Danzer's only got 6,000 in front of him. So as much as I know he wants to make it look like it's a huge overbet, just bet like even a blocker bet of 4k. Now that 2k, so there was 11k in the middle because they've put Scotty as 2,000. So there was 11k in the middle. If he bets 4k, it's going to get paid. in cash game, like in tournaments, you need every chip. In a cash game, overbets are good, and I'm a big fan of overbets. But the situation's got to be right. You've got to do it with the right customer. I mean, you're basically beating a rag ace, and if he had just an ace, Scott is not the kind of player that would just check call, and then just jam a river.
Und ich bin auch nicht super Tennis-Fan. Ich war einmal da und irgendwie fühlt sich für mich so an, als wäre es rausgeschmissenes Geld so ein bisschen. Weil ich finde es zwar echt krass. Ja, ich bin einfach nicht so der Tennis-Fan. Ich denke mir so, okay, ich gehe dann dahin, zahle halt mega viel Geld dafür und klaue noch irgendwem den Platz, der da sonst wäre. Und das für mich das halt mega das Highlight wäre.
Schwer ran. Ich verstehe dieses Spiel sowieso nicht.
Ich finde es ein geiler Sport zu schauen. Also live. Aber ich habe jetzt auch selber angefangen, wieder zu spielen.
Süchtig. Ja, ich habe nie den irgendwie gehabt im Tennis.
Und Rod Laver ist halt echt wahrscheinlich das schönste Stadion der Welt.
Ja, ist auch geil, mitten im Sommer.
Ja, offenes Dach und am Abend 29 Grad. Und
gehst halt schön so am Fluss hin.
I think the longer George takes, the more chance we've got.
I think it was a good fold.
Oh, yeah, he has folded.
Then it was a very good fold.
If even though, did he show ace 10 or did he say if you had ace 10?
Das war auch wirklich, weißt du, die war also, das habe ich lieber, habe ich irgendwie...
Top 2 und da kommt die 9 am River oder habe ich lieber Ass 9? Ich hätte lieber Ass 9 gehabt als
So, competition time. I've been told we've got some goodies we can give away. There's some new merchandise. They've got card protectors, got some nice new hoodies, hats, t-shirts. So, today's competition, and it's got to be within the next sort of 8. We're coming up for nearly 2 hours, so we've got about 3 hours left. What is the biggest? Who's going to be the biggest winner, and how much is the biggest winner going to win? The closest person wins a goodie bag. There are the queens again.
Pre-race call.
Genau, dann Compliment. Race 1000, Race of 3000. Call. Turn, check call at 3.500.
Raised up by Besim. Max in the cutoff just calls. What a flop for the pre-flop raiser. Second pair with the up and down. Top pair for Scotty. Gut shot and 2 overs for Tomovic. He won't be getting too involved because I'm pretty sure there'll be quite a bit of action in front. Yeah, flat call for Max. Fairly standard. Not going to be in love with that flop. Scotty. Top pair. He loves hands with kings in. I'm going to need the 8 of hearts for a bit of action. Wow, Scotty. Scott is checked. Besim, nothing wrong with a little stab. He probably doesn't think anyone's got a 7 here. Horrible card for Max. Now it's on Scotty. If there's flush draws, if there's straight draws, do you make them pay now? He's just called. I'm going to funk for the queen for Max. Paired the 4. Perfect for Scotty, but unfortunately no one with any of that. He really needed it to pair the 6. We can see that. Can Scotty find a check? A bet here really doesn't make too much sense. Check, call, lead.
Ich versuche eine ganz große Regenbogen durchzupushen.
It's a proper rainbow. It's a green chip, a yellow chip, a pink chip, a white chip, and a blue chip. 6,650. Besim is probably a player that could pay him off here. He won't put him on a 7, but he might think he's got a 4. There you saw Leon with Tony G. Max is going to fold. He's made some big calls before. It is Scotty. He's going to give him the stare.
Lion's Head.
He's not in the zone today. Some days you're the fly, some days you're the windscreen. That's my favourite expression in this game.
Dann hast du ja unten
He doesn't like it.
in Camps Bay diese kleine Beachstraßen mit den ganzen
Mit den Restaurants und hinter dir den Tafelberg, ja genau.
Und dann weiter oben, wenn weiter Richtung Norden, hast du dann Clifton Beach, das ist auch ein Sea Point, auch super schön. Ja, ich hatte zum Kitesurfen noch da, aber...
Just checking how much the bet is.
Die Bedingungen waren nicht so super, aber... Zum Kitesurfen.
Have the 7.
He has called.
Super schön, aber ja, auf jeden Fall länger hin nächstes Jahr.
And I don't like to say it, but myself, if I'm limping in a four-way coup, these aren't great flops. I'd rather just fold and find a better spot. You know, if I had a 3-bet pre and Scotty calls, the money's going in.
Didn't feel unsafe.
I felt safe.
You felt safe the whole time, no problem.
Yeah. Well, you don't go to the townships.
You don't go to Joe ever, and you don't go to townships around Cape Town.
Yeah, you don't. It's like in Rio, you don't go to the favelas. It's the same thing, you know. Just like
But you didn't feel...
you stick to the rules and you're fine. And you don't wear your Rolex or and like
That's good to hear. That's because I haven't been to South Africa. I know a lot of guys who used to go. A lot of the guys are in London.
don't
And
wear
they just
your
don't go
expensive
anymore.
shit and you're fine. You know? It's like you're wearing your like.
We like the
10K
flat
watch
with the
shit,
queens.
somebody's gonna rob
Yeah, the flat's fine with the queens pre-flop, but then it's you're in a four-way board with two guys that can have any two.
I've actually
And maybe use that 6,650
Colombia,
in a
Rio,
different situation.
Argentina, South America, everywhere.
Doesn't help when it's Scotty betting. That's why he gets paid off, because it's Scotty.
I lived in New York City, 1980, end of 85 until end of 89 when I moved. January 1990, basically, I moved to Frankfurt. And I felt unsafe several times.
New York.
Wow, he's found back-to-back queens. It's a better flop for him.
I lived in Manhattan for 4
And
years.
unfortunately,
4.5 years, and we were walking. I lived in 12th Street and
no
2nd
one
Avenue.
with anything
When I moved
to
there,
pay him off.
You felt unsafe.
It's horrible when you get big hands and you don't get paid, and then you get a big hand and you lose your money. Kind of demoralises you a bit. Stand up, take a walk,
buddy in sharing a one-bedroom,
change
go
your
walk, make it two
whole
bedrooms.
persona,
And you could see out the window where the girls were there with customers.
jump outside, get a bit of fresh air, take a walk around the casino or something, whatever.
There was no
Just walk away from the table for a minute.
around with guys who wanted to show their badasses.
But he's a solid grinder.
Seattle. Good friend of mine.
You won't see him tilt, that's for sure. He'll have thought process for everything he does. And of course, we don't know what he's thinking at the time. We can only see the whole cards or see what we might do in a situation.
Yeah, it's
But you can't say anything.
not really
you
what
can't say anything.
That's
right?
not really what you want to see.
You could be in the middle of nowhere in Germany. You would never feel that.
Mikey Twitch.
But that's,
You're not wrong. A lot of players do that. They don't mind coming out early and having a big gamble. Either get in front or get behind and carry on gambling. That's what we need.
when I passed it to Maryland, we went for 3 weeks over Christmas. And we were
Well, Max, the big loser so far. Don't rule him out yet.
around there on the beach.
Jonas, the big winner. Nearly 25k in front.
Used to go, was it Melendi? You had to go to Mombasa to catch us on the flight to Melendi, Kenyan island.
Yeah, Mikey Twitch, it is euros.
We went to
50, 100.
around 3-4 days and all the stop the treetops and all the different things. Went back one time, felt a little bit unsafe in Kenya. It was 5 years ago. But that time, the only place I ever felt
Well,
unsafe.
we could see a little bit of action here.
Currently now, Rio
Dan
really unsafe.
doesn't have too many
I was
chips.
there 2
It
years
is
ago and I
Scotty.
felt fine, especially Ipanema and, you know, like
He
those
is more than likely to get paid off.
I met Brazilian
Played
girl
quite tight.
in that area, and she told me like it's really unsafe now.
Might go check. Yeah, good check by Scotty.
Very different than the last.
It's going to slow the action down. It's probably a check river. No. Well, 800 is getting snap called. Can't imagine Scotty is folding for 800. He called for like 4k with a lot worse. He likes to call them and see their whole cards. He's got a bit of value.
Yeah, Yeah, I was in Brazil.
Not sure why it's Max on the why it's Daniel on the screen. It is Max. We are streaming tonight. Obviously, we'll be done here about 1:30 in the morning, and tomorrow we are back at 4 p.m. for some PLO action.
Where the guys were working, that was New Year, so people were putting together the floats.
I'll get you the schedule.
Yeah, and it's quite a black city, and lots of music, and fantastic. But some of the places we were traveling in, I'm not sure I would be comfortable traveling alone. There's clubs in the middle of nowhere where they're all working on the floats and practicing the drum music.
No, I won't. Internet's gone down again. I believe it's 100 PLO tomorrow. And then in the evening session, we're going to have No Limit Hold'em. Again on Tuesday, 4 p.m. start, so that's 4:30 on the live stream. Every couple of months, I think it's about every 3 months they have a little festival. The players come here, they leave from here straight to Monte Carlo for the EPT Grand Final. No hidden card. All the cards will be... Oh, these hidden cards, I see what you mean. They normally play here just before Barcelona, and then they all head off to Barcelona to play the Super High Roller. And then, of course, Prague City Centre towards the end of the year when the big festival takes place in the hotel, the Panorama. So Scotty has raised. So he must have 6-7. And Tobias has 3-bet. And Max, if he gets involved here, he must have 3-deuce. Because it looks like Max led out for 300. Scotty made it 8. Tobias has made it 16. I can only imagine it's a 7 or a 6 that's hidden. It's always fun to have a bit of a squeeze. Deuce on the turn. But if it was ace-3 for Max, definitely not his day. Scotty checked. Yeah. 8 on the river. If it was 6-7, Scotty got there. Pretty sure if he checks, it's 7s. If he bets, it's the straight. Is the rainbow. Here it comes. Now, if this is pocket 7s with a rainbow, it's very quiet right now. Every time he's done the rainbow so far, he's had it. Could be a tell. 6-6. He's overbet the pot. Yeah, join the Facebook page. Join the Twitter. Leon is on Facebook as well. He'll be happy to add you. He posts quite a lot of stuff about what's going on. Of course, the Poker Room Kings page. All the information. Warren Lush. Follow him on Twitter or on Facebook. He is the PR man. It's folded and we'll never know. We'll ask Scotty at the break what he had.
I was scared.
Gierig. Gierig, ja. Ich wollte gerade sagen, gierig.
Normally, that's not a problem for me, but maybe I was gierig, maybe I was scared.
Gierig.
57 hands.
Or I didn't count the pot.
2 hours nearly.
For the rainbow, because I successfully bet it last time.
Oh, you do.
Well, we know Scotty likes these kind of hands.
I think I can count. Or I didn't want to buy us some money. How's that? Is that possible? Also not
You
possible.
didn't want my money?
Also not possible.
I appreciate that.
All friendly at the moment. That's going to change before the end. We need to see a 30-40k pot. Get this game pumped up. Well, Tobias won't mind that board. Nothing out there really to contend with him. No flush draws, no gut shots, no up and downs. But Scotty, he pumped it up pre. A paired board. Can always take a stab. You open yourself up to being raised, because a lot of people bet out here with an 8 in their hand, which allows a player behind to come over the top and represent a hand. Puts you in a difficult position if you're out of position. We need a 7 to get the action. Is Scotty going to barrel? Yes, he is. Christmas has come early for Tobias. Now Scotty has got about 20k behind. If you raise here, I mean, Jack 10, Jack 9, yes, they're going to call. But they're also going to bet the river. If you call, your hand could look more of a flush draw. I like the call. If the man's got air, let him carry on barreling. Like a black deuce would be good. Or a king, the same job. Scotty knows he can only win this 9,000 euros if he bets. Will he do the rainbow? Jimmy Stapler, the beast. See, there's no rainbow now. That bet basically says if you've missed your flush draw, you're going to fold. And if you got anything, I've done minimal trying to nick the 9k. Method to the madness.
Actually, I was better. I believe you. It wasn't good enough. That's principle number 1.
So tomorrow it is confirmed. 10k buying, 50, 100 PLO. Start streaming from 4 o'clock local time. Confirmed we have in Thomas Bichon, Mads, Jim Callin, Niat, Ismail Bojang, Jan Peter Jachman, Ronnie Kaiser, and Jesper Haugard. We saw Jesper have a really bad session, get really unlucky on the feature table when we played PLO a few months back. But he went to the side table after and got the lot. Massive winner in the game. And then we will be back. So that game will start at 4 o'clock and finish at 8 o'clock. And at 9 o'clock, 50, 100 no limit hold'em. Livbury, Quirinzek, Igor, Besim Hot, Sharam, Martin Cabril, Roman Herald. Tony G is not here yet. He's not 100% confirmed. He's a very last minute kind of guy. We're right on the border of Germany. We're about an hour and a half's drive from Prague Airport. We are in the Czech Republic, but we are on the border. Or right by the border, should I say.
I think the guy was named Lighthouse. Yeah. I don't know, I remember.
And don't worry, Mikey Twitch, many questions as you want, no problem at all. It's the same price, 1 question or 20.
Apparently he does, but just like in Salzburg.
Daniel praying for someone to have half a hand. Jonas, suited ace. Scotty with a 5-3. Up and down. 3 diamonds. King of diamonds for Dan. Should be making a bet here. Now Scotty's got a diamond as well. Could have raised there, but he's opted to call. Well, there is the diamond. Scotty shouldn't be doing too many chips in this hand, to be fair. I'd like to see maybe a check behind, but if he bets here, it's because he wants to try and get 3 streets. If he thinks Scotty's got a queen or a jack of diamonds. He'll want to get the turn and river bet from him. And he's got it correct. I'll say just don't pair the board, and he could get another 1,500. I wouldn't go too high here, because you've got a solid reputation yourself. You've not played too many hands. Well, he's gone for 2.5k.
Pay the man.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to call. Oh, there you go. Yeah, he had a straight flush draw.
3-5, it's not bad.
I didn't even see it.
Yes.
These guys,
Not to you.
they'll be finishing up here about 1:30 in the morning. They will be playing through the night. I just ran outside before. There's 2 Omaha high-stakes games running as we watch this.
6 of diamonds. I would have not folded if the 6 of diamonds was on there.
A fair sum of money is on the table. That's one way to put it.
1 outer on the turn. I called 1,200 for a 1 outer.
Look at that. Picked up the snowmen. George behind. I was going to say he's probably got a hand like ace, queen, king, queen suited to be calling behind. King, queen, he might even fold.
The guy was betting.
Besim finding a fold button.
Morning time playing bullshit downstairs.
Second pair for Scotty. Over pair. It's always nice when you've got 8s to say you got an over pair on the flop. Nice bet. Scott is going to peel.
Small rainbow.
5 is a good card for the 8s. He's up and down. I think I might have made a small bet there. Scotty could win this pot right now. And he's not afraid to put the chips in. I think I'd have bet a bit more. If you want to win this pot, I know it looks like you're begging for a call when you bet 1,200. His opponent did check the turn. He would have probably bet 1,200 on the turn. Look at that.
I think I have the nuts.
No, you don't, sir. Pocket 8s is a winner. Luck box, that's a good idea. Why don't we all tweet Tony G to get on his bike and come on down to King's Casino.
Nuts, Scotty. Always the nuts.
I think if he'd have bet like 1,800 to 2k, Daniel would have folded.
8 high could be the nuts. Could be. Sometimes it is.
Not easy.
Right?
When Warren comes back, we'll get Tony's
Have you ever checked
Twitter
stake high
account.
and you won in
It's
the
probably at Tony
No,
G.
but I snap called against Tarkan with 10 high. He bet overbet a 350 euro pot. And I snap called it and was right. 10 high.
Probably if you snap call, you don't have to show. You just sit and wait.
We were in this Malta when Leon won this award for industry.
Yeah.
Life loving. He's actually a very, very nice guy off the table. It's all a persona. It was all a show. He does some incredible things for charities. For a lot of people, he does some incredible things. But at the table, he is an animal. Not saying it's right. It's just the way he was. Back in the day when it was all about the TV and becoming a character, it got him into sponsorship deals. You had to stand out. You got to be different.
7-7. 5. I think he had 6-8. 7-5.
You only see
7 deuce.
little bits of people.
If he ends up somehow having a hand like.
I don't disagree on when he plays poker on the TV channels and on the live streams, and he'll tell you himself. He knows it.
Wrong, 50 years, like, I'm not trying to tell
All
you
a show.
so much money he lost.
All to get his players on tilt. It was all very calculated.
That was my, I was betting. It was called bet call. And then come on, River
I'm not defending him. I know him as a different person, off the table to on the table. So it's only fair that you should know that. But let's get him here. Maybe you can lose 100 grand and make you all happy. That would be fun. Nothing better than Tony G stuck 50 grand. If you remember the good old days of the 48-hour cash games. Tony G. Leon Zkernik. They could be brothers. Tomovic.
You're on the pot, Besim is on the pot. Scotty.
Scotty Hanna has decided it's time to get busy. 3-bet, a flat call
I think you're going to see a flop, Besim.
from Besim.
Oh, maybe you will.
Not mad about Tomovic's call. He's going to be crushed and he's not going to know which way. Well, 2 live cards and a gut shot for Scotty. Guessing a few of them have been passed, looking at the maths. Nice bet. He knows when Besim tanked and called 1500, and he's probably got the kind of hand he's got. And this won't have any of Alexander Tomovic's range. Build the pot, take the pot. This is also true. The game has evolved. He just likes the fun. It's very different now, streamed games compared to the TV games. Because the TV games, we used to get paid to wear logos and big money. And on the stream, of course, there's no logos. Well, you can wear a logo, but you don't have companies giving you 5,000 an episode. That obviously helps when you're playing for like 24 hours, which is going to be probably 3 to 4 episodes. There's 15, 20,000 that you're being given just to wear a logo. So you're kind of on a free roll.
I played it in university. I don't play it in years.
Yeah, Besim will just have enough in a minute and go crazy.
We played.
Scotty.
And if he wins a pot, he'll carry on. And if he loses a pot, he'll carry on. I hope he wins. I like Besim.
Das gut gefordert, hast du gesehen, oder?
Gets very frustrated though.
Straße, ich hätte nicht Schulhaus. Aber ich habe doch viel bezahlt für einen Fahrrad.
Ja, ein bisschen was. Ich habe ja auch gedacht, dass du ein bisschen was solltest
Ich
du
weiß,
schon
dass du
haben.
zwei Paare hast und ich sehe paired board und ich sage, wenn ihr Full House hat, dann boom, luck to it. Wenn du long mehr als 30 Sekunden überlegt hast, dann weiß ich, dass mein Dame hoch Flush Nuts ist.
Dann hast du eh viel Angst.
Wenn du weniger als 30
I'd like to see a small bet.
überlegt hättest, dann musst du es
He
rebuy.
called a bet on the flop, it's been checked to him on the turn.
Nur diese 26,
The reason it was checked
27,
is Jonas
28, hey,
gives
bisschen
Daniel a lot of
Schiss.
respect.
Und dann
Once he
31
got called,
Happy
he
with
switched
it.
off.
Last thing we were living.
Daniel should pick up on this and try and steal that pot for like 800-900.
Don't come in the hand with you. How's that possible?
Well, he's won it anyway.
Full 10 deuce with you out there. Huh?
Scotty nuts.
Meanwhile, not too late to win a goodie bag.
10 deuce, that's a fair.
Let us know
10 deuce, I folded it pre-flop.
how much the biggest winner is going to win today.
Jonas has just taken
Let us
everything.
know what the
Started
biggest
by
pot
taking
of the
one
night
solo.
will be.
One of the few highlights of my poker career, bluffing gold runs with 10 days. Obviously, I was like, you had a laugh. I think like so many people did it against him over the last year. He just
Every
gives
time
me,
he's looking at the huge river bed, he thinks this guy must have 10 deuce.
just gives me a cheeky smile. Just said that, like yeah, I've seen this before.
Jonas saying when he beat Bluffdor Brunson with 10 deuce. He's right, everybody tries that. So,
Ooh, Maximus.
opened by Scotty.
I was expecting something
George
different.
flattened the
I
button.
get to play Georgie in position.
Don't know why I thought
First
Max
bluffing
might make a
check.
move.
I have the
He's
open
folded the
bluff
ace-9.
check. I bet 2 chips, sorry.
So send a tweet
Black cards.
at Paul Zimbler or send them a message at Poker Room Kings to Facebook with your answer. Closest person wins a goodie bag. Top 2 for
checked.
George. Look at this, he's done absolute minimum. That's the thing with Scotty, you never know.
Check raise you all in. Scheiße. What's that behind? Those are blue ones in the very
He's a
back?
good showman too, Scotty. It's great for the
Doesn't matter.
game.
I thought they were- Just wanted to make sure they weren't 5,000.
George's eyes lit up like a
check
Christmas
raise
tree
all in and you show me
when
3,
Scotty
5,000
said I
side.
was going to check raise you.
Or I might hate my 5 diamonds, deuce diamonds.
I got lucky.
In which sense? I'm not low. In the sense that I didn't keep betting?
No, I would have called.
Huh?
I would have called.
I check raise you all in on the river, you called?
Oh.
Wow. That's why I was asking about the 5,000s. I wasn't going to raise, I was going to go all in.
That's close.
Then we would have had to let the guys go on break while you were thinking about it.
No, I would have made my decision quick on that one.
Scotty
Autofold?
with the ace queen. It's a hand that we all hate, especially in early position.
Again, shouldn't be betting when that low, should it?
And I'm really surprised. If I got ace king and Scott is opening, I'm going to 3-bet. I want to be heads up with him. I'm in position. Very lucky that it's only 3 ways to this flop. But as it turns out, the case ace has hit the flop. And he's going to get on. Now, if you raise here, you're kind of exposing your hand. If you're, I know Scott is one to pay off. Six is a brick. Scotty will check. And he has. And what's he going to do now? Like 2,600? Is that 31? 21. Yeah, 2,600. Spot on. Spade on the river could slow things down.
Ace with.
And it has. Do you have the TV control?
Only table where I would get away that cheap that hand. No, that's what I was feeling bad about the hand. It's like, this is so cheap, something's happening here. Are you expecting something? Thank you, sir. Thank you. You're welcome. Appreciate that.
Once he says ace, you think you win anyway.
Yes. I was shocked. Know your customer.
Tobi?
Was ist los?
That is a prime example where you could have got the full double up with a raised pre-flop. Could have got it all in on the flop. Okay, I know we could see an ace hit, but your 3-bet doesn't have to be huge. You just have to pump that pot up.
Ja. Schon ein bisschen her das letzte Mal hier.
Ah ja? Und was wird das denn?
Einige Zeit auf jeden Fall, ziemlich lange. Ich weiß mal, wenn irgendwas hier war, unterwegs.
Solid fold, Tomovic. When George is opening, ace-5 is no good. Jonas likes these kind of hands.
Georgie!
And they're heads up. See the respect he gets when he raises under the gun? Jonas could check raise this.
Post me, please.
Now it's been checked to him. Well, he won't love that turn. George must make a bet. Well, maybe he thinks he's got a showdown. And he's worried about a check raise.
Check.
Or thinking if he checks the turn, his opponent may try and bet the river. Guess that's what he hoped for.
Nicht gehört.
Irgendwas meint er mit Posten. Posten? Ich glaube schon, ja.
Er wollte mitspielen, ja?
Ja. Kommt schon gleich wieder. Aha, der kommt schon noch. Nice.
Relax, relax. The action is not over.
Thank you, gentlemen. How much is it?
4.
Auto cost.
Always.
Let's see what happens. Maybe I can play blind. I play blind with Maximilian.
Didn't expect anything else. It's quite, the way it takes
Should the
one
cameras
ball
play
after
blind
another
or
for
should just
today.
me play blind?
It's like, it's so easy.
Let's let the-
Heads up.
Let's let the cameras see.
Scotty has announced he's blind.
Check.
For the viewers.
Yeah.
That's out of his range.
300.
How much?
300.
300. I got it.
Scotty is floating.
Not yet.
Potentially to make a move. Maybe he hasn't looked. Maybe he genuinely hasn't looked.
Check.
600. Come on, Max.
Your friends can confirm. I haven't seen this.
Don't check to him. He's likely to call you blind.
I got to look at one. Straight flush draw.
Well, he might not call you blind for 1200. This is so good if you can look down at your hand and now pump it up to 4200.
It was not a bad flop for me. 8-7.
Leon would do that.
You mean the 8 of diamonds?
Huh? 7 of diamonds, 8 of hearts.
Yeah.
Strong one, you beat the blind. Blind guy.
Beat the one blind guy.
Sometimes I play better blind.
Max's luck has turned around, George said. You beat the blind guy.
I would love to see you fold
Gotta
the
love
turn
it.
blind. After you call.
I just don't feel it here.
Well,
Oh, a brilliant
It
play.
was
Call
nice.
blind twice, then just fold blind on the turn.
And be right. And be right, exactly. Be right would be okay. Be wrong would be really. Okay, now I'm on dealer button. I'm looking, and it's Georgie, so I'm gonna
I thought
just get in there and play with him. Can't play George blind.
I was bluffing.
You were bluffing. Scheisse, I shouldn't have looked. I should have raised you blind.
Then I would have gone all in.
I have a king with an ace kicker. I would have called you. But I made the bet before.
Lucky me that I was bluffing.
No, I made the bet before I looked at the cards.
So no break. We're going to play straight through.
There's a lot of food there. They probably planned to pause. Oh, I'm a nit, George. I should have raised you blind or just...
George will fold this one after the last hand. Max.
I need every advantage possible.
Watching all the money. It's so bad. It's so horrible when you're at a table and there's money just flying around in situations where it shouldn't be. And you just can't catch a break. Very frustrating, but you just got to accept that's what it is.
I remember.
And when you do get hands, get max or lose min, pretty easy to say. But that's how it is. That's the game. It's as much as of a mental game than it is a physical and actual game. Stay in the game. Just keep watching your opponents. If you're not getting involved in hands, you're involved by watching all the action, seeing when they're check calling, when they're raising, if you get to see the whole cards, their betting patterns, when they bet, how they're reacting. Live poker. A lot of information to be given.
Also sie hat ein bisschen Deutsch gelernt, aber es ist nicht so einfach, wenn du das nicht zum...
You know, you don't get many hands that often. We all know it's a position game. And it's not a tournament. Their tournament life is not at risk. They don't face elimination. If you're playing a cash game, you should be playing within your limits. You should always, I would recommend, allow yourself 3 buy-ins to a game.
Oh, thank God, Senor Reinkermeier. It's just about time I win a pot with you. Remember that time I slid the cards to you?
I do.
That was one of the best hands of poker I
I
ever
was so
played.
fucking drunk. I didn't know what was happening anymore. You neither.
No, but it worked, thank God.
I think we're going to see a C-bet with the sixes.
Drunk and I was just started talking, and he offered me the chops. I'm like, yeah, fuck this. Like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Let's do
I check.
Okay.
Don't forget I raised pre-flop, okay?
Scotty trying to get free cards.
I call.
Looks like 4.5. 3.5. Scotty is not going anywhere with a pair. And look at this. Tobias will like this card as well. It's giving him a gut chop. He will not think his opponent has a king. It's not generally how Scotty would play top pair. So I would bet with sixes here into Scotty. Doesn't have to be much. 550. Third of the pot.
I raise.
Wow, and Scotty has pulled the trigger. Yeah, 3 buy-ins for a session. Well, you bet 6, been raised to 15. It's 900 into 3.5. When you should have 6 outs. You might take 2 of those away because of the flush draw. But Scotty, very like 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 times he'll play a flush draw this way. So you should have all 6 outs. And that's not it. Scotty will lead out and expect to get paid off. He knows Tobias has something. Rainbow? Oh, he's going to bet like really.
Christi Letos. Das Jahr von Christos.
32?
33.
33.
33.
Yeah, 3 buy-ins for a session.
33.
Me, if I was playing a game like this, I'd allow myself 10, 10 and 20. So 40k. Because on my 3rd buy-in, they're going to think you're on tilt. If you load up 20 and do find that double up, you're back to level. And with the stack.
Which would be nuts. I think you have ace jack.
Could be the nuts.
It's a pretty good bet now.
Now, if Hanna would have check raised the flop,
It's not bad.
you know, he's check called, he's check raised turn. That generally is a sign of strength. This one could take a minute or 2. I'll leave you with Scotty and his table talk. as he tries to entice Tobias to call.
That's an intriguing bet. That's actually a bet that I would want to call just to see what this idiot was playing.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
But I know my cards, and it is true that sometimes I'm an idiot. You're not 33 yet, are you? I don't know what's awaiting you. I have a 4 with an 8 kicker.
That's good.
That was pretty nasty.
84. It's a good year.
84, good year?
It's a good year.
Wow, I was doing lots of nasty things in 84. I had long hair.
How long?
Actually, there's some dubious pictures that are running around. There's poisonous shit called social
Well, he
media.
probably had like 1 year. Like,
Oh, I wanna
before
see
he really
those.
blonde.
Do you have
I
one?
hate. Actually, there's one on the Facebook my sister put on there. I should shoot her. If it wasn't for poker, I would never even open Facebook. I had lots of hair. Yeah, it was a good time for hair. Wait. Get him in there. Get him in there. You missed it. I won my first hand today.
Really?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Good kicker.
Yeah, it was a good kicker. That was about almost, yeah. King was a snap call. 4 and 5 is half the calls, I guess.
Okay, let me know if he called in that hand. Can't imagine he did. It looks like he's got 17k. Dan. Besim with the check mark. Second nuts. Top pair, top kicker for the button. And Besim is a player that will get called. And Max bet this. Besim just called. Besim will be wondering what's going on. What have I got to do? How does it pair the board every time? Yeah, Max is not going to throw good money after bad. Besim must bet this. Is that an all-in for 700? And Max has the fold. Shows the hand, wins the pot.
So feel banana. Not that it's important, but I'm back to only 600 behind. I've been playing so much fucking stupidity. Don't worry, young man. You're here. You got all that thing on top of it. Only I know what it is.
Straddle.
Feels like 2 queens. Oh, and he straddles. What a sneaky bastard.
You think it's 2 queens?
Looks like 1,000.
Yeah, I'm better. I'm better.
He's always better.
I'm better. Last time he had 2
10-7.
queens, I had 8-3 of diamonds.
Somebody said he got queens, but nope, it's queens behind.
Now you just have to look at
Now when Scotty opens 5x on a straddle, I like the raise from Besim because you've got to expect Scotty's got a hand he's calling with.
3-2 behind? So 3-2 in the pot, 3-2 behind. So I have to really have a good hand to even try to come into the pot. 3-3, oh, that's in a Cristinetos thing.
But he's not folding for 2,200. Or is he?
Against everybody else, and that's. I give you a gift.
Gonna give him a spin. If he catches any of it, he'll just move in. Any draw, any pair, he'll get it in.
Free flop. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna win 3,300 more euros.
Oh, he could win this if he could just move in.
Way out of your range, and way in my range.
Or Besim might just put it in.
200.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. He's going to bet 200 on the turn.
200.
Yeah, I know Besim. I've seen him do this before. He won't bet the river though, in case he gets check raised.
200 ist wettiger Tag.
Check.
Of course, he's going to check. Now Scotty could have won that pot. I don't feel too sorry for him. He got 3,200 out of Scotty pre-flop.
King, then I would have really had the nuts. Nice answer.
Now for him to 3-bet that big, a lot of players wouldn't have given the whole speech. They'd have called, seen a flop and moved in. I'm telling you, Besim would have still called if he's in that kind of frame of mind. Just out of frustration, he'd call. What it must be like to just call out of frustration for 3.5 grand. But we'd do it for 35 quid, so why don't they do it for 3.5k? They don't care. It's all relevant.
Snap re-raise 230 and er folded.
It's a double straddle on. 50, 100, 200, 400. That's what we're talking about. Get this game juiced up. Problem is when they're not so deep, double straddles isn't so good because that makes the bind stack 25 bigs, which means we're going to see less flops, less action. Scotty. Surprised he doesn't lead out on this board. Maybe he went for the check raise against Max. Well, Max is going to bet this. Hanna has got the 5 of diamonds. The up and down. Nice bet. Getting snap called. 5 on the river. Oh, it's a diamond. It's just not Max's day today. It's just going to go check.
That means I have the nuts. I have this and this. Straight and flush.
That's crazy.
Nuts.
Go all in. I don't know what I do. It will be a snap.
Come on, Maxie.
Which
Win a pot for Eli.
snap.
Go to your happy place. Get back in the zone. When you feel good, good things will happen. When you feel deflated and you think nothing's going right, it will not change.
Ram it. Let's go. I'm ready. Warmed up.
Three winners in the game. Jonas, the big winner. Fairly solid, fairly consistent. But the night is still young here at King's Casino in Rozadov. I like this. Changing his game a bit. The straddle was on. Tobias opens. With Dan's image, ace-4 should be going in the bin. But Scotty Hanna is going to intervene. Scotty folded, Tobias would have folded. When Scotty calls, Tobias has to call, because if he catches a hand such as this against Scotty, he's getting a full double up. It's worth calling the extra bit. Wow, Dan, look at this. He's flopped 2 pair and he's in trouble. Top pair against the nut flush draw and a gut shot. Sorry, 2 pair against the nut flush draw, top pair and a gut shot. Well, Dan's got 14k. This pot's just over 3k already. He may lead out for something like 2,500. Wow, he's just moved in. He just wants a random ace to fold, a low ace to fold when surely you want them in. But he's getting called. And even though he's got 2 pair, he is a dog in the hand. He needs to fade a 4, a deuce, a club, or an ace, or a running pair. Immediate service. Oh, they've run it twice. It's paired the 5. Well, oh, maybe not. An ace on the river now would win it for him. No. Oh, they are running it twice. So when you run it twice, there's 2 turns, 2 rivers. The pot's divided in 2. And if you win one, you win half the pot. If you win both, you win both the pots. It's a brick on the turn. And the deuce of clubs for the straight flush. 1 for the money, 2 for the show.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
That would be sick if it came the other way. So it's a chop pot. They run it twice for variance. Always nice to
my money.
Catch it on the river.
Worked hard for that.
And in the building we have Daniel Kang.
Wow.
Guten Abend.
Ah, guten Tag.
Dann geht's am Turn rein und wir machen Run mit Twice. Ja, komm, dann kommt einfach straight play. Das war die 4. Karte.
Fast.
Zwei in Kreuz, Tobi.
Fast. Anders sind die Damen und die 2.
Garage.
Ale ještě
Nach dem Pool nicht mehr.
Quite a few interesting guesses for the competition today, and how much the biggest winner will win today, and also what the biggest pot of the night will be. If you want to get involved, it's free to enter. You win a goodie bag, a King's Casino goodie bag. Send me a tweet at Paul Zimbler. Sorry about that. It's killed a fly. Deuces and never looses. Tomovic opens. Scotty flats the button. First card out the deck. Tomovic will rep this. Make a C-bet, and so he should. Doesn't have to go much. Wow, he's gone 3/4 pot. And that is where the brakes come on. Emergency stop for Tomovic. He wanted to find a 2, 4 or 5 on the turn. Scotty should check this behind. If you bet, you're going to lose your customer. Not that you're going to really be representing much, that you're going to call the flop and check the turn. A check raise here would be so beautiful, but we know he's not going to do it. He's more than capable of it. He's done it before. Scotty would flatten ace on the button though to his raise. Scotty would take about 5 minutes if Tomovic did move in or even make a raise. He's only got 12k left. I mean, you could make it 5.5, save moving in, then if he's got nothing he's just going to fold. He'll show him the ace. No. What's wrong with Scotty? Is that enough for showing cards? Hand 78. Halfway through the night. Here comes the clipboard for the autographs. Max reloading. Well, he's just told him he had an ace with a bad kicker. If my German is... It's not great, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Open to 400. Cool, 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 cool. We haven't had one family pot tonight yet. Well, we're 5-handed. Something for the majority. Nope. A gut shot for the 6-4. No one with any of that. He who dares wins wadders, and that is usually this man right here. Looks like he's stepping up a gear.
That's the sign of answer. So one time. What? You have a 6. 4. 6-4.
Did he show the bluff?
Gut shot for the nuts. And fold equity. When I bet into 7 of the best players in the world, the second one has to fold because I would have never bet into the first one.
Quite right. You tell him. It's harder to bluff 5 of them than it is one of them.
Jonas is already looking at his watch trying to say, when can I get out of here?
The winners can have dinners. And I'm eating right about now.
Yes, I understand.
And it's Besim time. Here we go, out of nowhere, completely out of character, with a hand that you wouldn't even want to put your blind in with. Make up the blind with.
World champion.
He wants to 3-bet Scotty with. Come on, the fireworks.
He's world champion. Picking up women.
Well, this could be the start of it. C-bet from Besim.
What's coming?
About 11k. Oh, 7k. Don't move in. If you move in and your opponent...
I would like to bet 9,000.
Doesn't make sense. Scotty, there's no draws out there. If your opponent now has queens, you've lost him. Unless he does this frustration move that we spoke about only a few minutes ago. But in this situation, it wouldn't make sense, because what can Scotty have?
Are you sure? Do I have a chance to take it back?
get a bit of Hollywood and a fold. Make out he's got a big hand. He's unlucky Scott. He's caught a piece of this because the move makes sense.
I've also said that with better kicker. Kick it 3. Go. Thank you.
Don't know if I'd have shown the 3 of diamonds there when I 3-bet, but I guess it's going to be on the stream in half an hour for them when they're playing live.
That's from my granddad. If you don't know what to do, bet. If you're really confused, go all in.
Solid advice he gave you. If in doubt, stick it in.
You hit something there.
Yeah, 7.
I'm going to make it very good. Protection. Protecting my hands.
Yes, no break today. We play straight through to Monday. That's Jens. Jens, come and tell us your Twitch. Scotty, Hanna has got Max crushed. Well, Max with a flush draw. He has just reloaded, so he's not going to go crazy. Scotty's going to fire at a monkey. He's going to get called. Max doesn't have any live cards, so he doesn't need to raise the flop. He's going to go check 1,000, fold. Well, he's checked. He's let him catch up. Max now should just fire out 2k. That's what he'll do. 1,300. He's getting paid off by an ace. I'd have gone for a bit bigger myself.
Nice hand, sir.
Snap call by Scotty. Max, a solid player. It's never going to be a bluff.
Very nice hand, senor.
Very nice river.
Well, it smelled like I wasn't going to get you to fold, so down to pots.
Well, I guess if you would bet.
I mean, if I would have done like bet 9,000.
Don't educate them. If you tell them what they should have done, they'll do it next time, and you won't get to the river.
But against you, I didn't feel like you're going to fold, so I just...
Sometimes players think to themselves, well, I was going to bet the turn, and if I bet the turn and he called, I'd have lost the same amount of chips, so I'll call him on the river. It's an interesting dynamic of the human brain. Gerard Tendler has got a book about the mental game. Definitely I recommend that to players.
That's a paired board, so that means I have the nuts. Wow, now I definitely have the nuts. Beweis.
Tried to raise, but with Scotty you never know.
I had 2 kings, so it's going to be hard to raise me. King deuce.
Yep.
Una.
Suited connectors of royalty. Definitely got to be worth... Oh, it's straddled. So that'd definitely be worth a raise for him.
All right, it's you and I. Let's see. Go ahead and you have to raise. I will. Okay. I probably have to. Wait, first I have to figure out what you raised with. Got it? Yes. Oh my God! I was giving you Jack 9 suited.
And you have Jack 9 yourself.
No, I have Jack 10 suited, so I have the nuts.
I don't believe you.
I have you Jack 9 suited.
Raised it up. Quite rightly.
Question. I think
Into the straddle.
So diamonds?
C-bet of like 800 into Scotty. 800. Sounds like 800.
Look. See, I smelled the 9, and I had Jack 10 suited. fold. That's a great limp call fold. Best played hand today by me.
Quite right. Never. A lot of people that I'd say somebody wrote a very good article recently about that. I think it was Jeff Kimber in the Bluff magazine. And I think, I mean, there's hundreds of articles written about it. People that berate players and tell them how bad they are, and these are recreational players having fun. If they now feel uncomfortable, first of all, they're not going to play bad against you. They think these guys think that they can wind them up so that they might do something crazy against them. But what they do is they just don't end up. They're happy to gamble, but they just don't want to gamble with you. So you're losing value yourself. If I'm at the table, I say, listen, what's he done wrong? You know, get friendly with the guy. Now the man wants to gamble with you. I really don't like it when players do that. They think they're being clever and smart, and they just make themselves look like idiots. So yeah, I agree with you. And why do you want the player to stand up and leave?
Think about our friend, by the way.
Got to earn the money.
I started doing this transcendental meditation.
You don't have to be good at poker to win. You just have to be better than the other players at your table. And a little bit lucky.
Probably just an accident.
I try and explain it to my missus that it's like having a 12-sided dice and you give them number 1 and you have 2 through to 12. You can roll that dice 100 times and number 1 may never come in. But you could roll it 5 times in a row and it could land on 1 every time. But I'll take my chances. I'll play the odds. I'll play the math.
Never happened. I never went. And then maybe a month later, there's only one person in Czech Republic who makes the program. And I went to see this lady.
Well, we've got a bit of a hand here. And Scotty, not in too bad a shape. There's a couple of jacks there, a couple of kings, 1 queen. Oh, there's an ace still involved.
All right, so you have.
Well, they found it to get to 3-handed.
This time, no, this time I know what you.
Oh, look at this board. Tomovic must. I didn't see what the action was actually pre all the aggressor and 3-bet. So Tomovic called the 1600 and Jonas 3-bet. Wow, look at this. It's Christmas. Tomovic checks a C-bet from the aggressor pre-flop on the button. A snap call from Scotty. Once Tomovic calls, none of them are looking at Tomovic. When a man bets and a man snaps and Tomovic calls behind, he's the man to worry about. And now he knows Scotty's snap called. I would definitely stick a bet in here. 5k. Because otherwise you're giving these guys free cards. Let's say they've both got a pocket pair. All of a sudden there's 4 outs that can get you. This is a good card for Tomovic to bet. Because an ace may pay him off here. Has Tomovic folded pre-flop? Am I seeing the right thing? Does he have cards behind his hand? We're sitting here thinking it's Christmas for Tomovic. He's not even in the pot. I apologise, boys and girls. Scotty cannot call this now. Jonas 3-bet. Tomovic is open pre-flop. C-bet flop, check turn, bet river when an ace came. I mean, 4s just can't be good. Near enough ever.
He's killed somebody's money.
Would you have like pocket 5?
I have
Yeah, spot on, he knows what he's got. These guys are no fools.
Well, yes.
No ace on the river, no card bigger than ace queen, I snap. Show it. It didn't have to be right, but it would have been a snap call.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt you were calling like other calls.
I consider that a bad beat. I will consider it a bad beat. For one
Pocket
of
tens for Jonas.
Next card was smaller than
The big winner in the game so far. And look at this timing for Besim. I think he's got a bit less than 9.5k.
Well, I'm not sure if I called cards exactly, but I felt pretty good with the fours.
Yeah.
And 6
That was like pretty good card.
Jonas should probably
Pretty good turn.
stick Besim in if he wants to see this flop. Otherwise, he knows he's going to have Scotty in behind, unless he wants that, to catch a golden flop to get that 37k up to kind of nearly 70k. Wow, Max with Jack 9. So, opened 3-bet, called. Now that Max has called, Jonas probably would just call. Max could have jacks, could even have queens, could have 9s or 8s. That kind of range with his hand. If we couldn't see his whole cards, it would make sense. He can call here, knowing he'll probably get to a flop. And if he had a monster, and Jonas did have a hand, so it's a tough spot for Jonas to come over the top. So flat call, I think that's the right decision. And Scotty is definitely not giving up the value. Autograph for Tomovic, having a reload. Wow, Scotty is capable of just shipping it in. No. Would have absolutely loved to have seen it. He'd like to think he'd do it, but it doesn't make sense to do it. What do we want, like a... That's no fun. It's good for Besim. He's going to get near enough a quadruple up, because he'll double up his remaining bit through Jonas. Got 4 of them in pre. I don't mind a flat here. He also knows Hanna is capable of having 7-8, 7-6, 7-5, 6-5, 6-4, 5-4, 4-3 for all these kind of hands. And if he's got 6-5, 5-4, 6-4, 7-8, he just saw him 3-bet himself with 7-3. So raising is could just get you into trouble for no reason. Calling should have the same effect here. Maybe he's just tanking to call. What? He's folded the 10s. It's unreal. And what great shape Besim is in here. He's got it in with aces against King Jack on a 6-5-4 board. Put a 10 on the turn. No. That's cruel. A 9 on the river. And Besim
16,000 is possible.
up to 20k.
4,000 by 13,000. You never know with this guy.
Sometimes he has king 7.
I give him pocket 9s. Yeah. Could be pocket 9s. Could be ace queen.
Exactly. Besim saying he'd play that same with any pair, any 2 over cards.
And I could have had any one of my hands. 5-4.
You were just saying that, Scotty.
6-5.
Where were they this time?
Where were they this time? Nice hands.
And did you start playing King Jack and stuff like that?
It's Geroge's position to get dealt such shit cards. I don't like those cards, but I have to. You know, what am I gonna do? Give them back? I guarantee that for half a second he thought, oh fuck, study called instant call. Oops! 2, 3, 4, 5 flop.
Yeah, usually easier.
Cocksucker, instant called.
He shortly thought about just checking and folding when he saw the flop.
Yeah.
And then he said, ah, whatever, rebuy. Put in the aces.
Top pair for Tobias. No, gut shot for Dan. King high for Scotty. Second pair for Besim, who feels he's back in this game.
Look, there's 9,000 in the pot.
Besim could get it up to 60,000 in the next hour. He could be in for 60,000.
I would have preferred that 5-4 in that.
Boom. Gut shot to go with his top pair. I think he should bet this turn with his checks. Check, check.
Besim got lucky the flop didn't come 10 high.
Besim was unlucky that Jonas has
Yeah.